and welcome to Tales from the Darkside Crew, your Star Wars news and weekly comic recap presented by Renovision. It's another full show tonight, and it takes a droid to manage a great Star Wars show with this much going on. We're saving up. We're giving you the latest Star Wars news, and Dom gazes into his special Holocron and reveals what's going to happen with Fett, and prove what he's been saying all along. Book of Boba will get better. Then there's only two comics really worth reviewing this week. Doc Aphra 18 and High Republic 13. We may take a look at the other one. Of course, we've got our thoughts on Book of Boba Fett episode 4, and we rank possible workouts that will give Boba the muscle he's going to need to win back power, respect, and audiences. We get our first look into the deepest Star Wars collection in South Texas. A collection like this can only belong to a Sith. The results of round 4 of our fantasy Fett game are here, and we remember the lost as we review the latest novel from High Republic, A Fallen Star by Claudia Gray. And soft questions followed by hard choices. That's the idea behind our latest trivia game, where answering the questions could be the easy part. Let's get it going, fellas.
Okay. Oh, yeah, my mic works. Very good. So probably checking your mic before you start the show is a good idea. There we go. Let's say hi to a couple people in the chat real quickly, and then we'll get it going with the rest of it. Ruben was here. Must be excited because we're going to have a little thing on him later. He was here a day ahead of time, 24 hours. Team Dom. Well, don't worry. We started a whole segment over Team Dom now, so we will have a new segment for that. What's going on, Ed? Sticks. I hope you are. I know Darth Lopez hit me up earlier, too. I hope whoever you guys want to win is winning. I don't know. Astro, good to see you. Wayseeker, good to see you. Thomas, thank you for making it. Yeah, how's it going? It's going good for us. How's it going for you, sir? Sam is here. Scott, you're here early. We appreciate that. Thank you for saying hi for the algorithm, Ed. I'm going to have to get through Ed's drinking and eating popcorn, drinking booze and eating. Okay, I got this one. Eating popcorn while drinking bourbon. Very good. All right. Hey.
I thought about doing bourbon.
Corbin. What's going on, my man?
What up, Corbin?
When you coming on, buddy? T. Jones, good to see you. Geek Astronomy, it's always good to have family in the house. Ronnie Sanders. Ronnie Sanders, good. I'm glad you love the show. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Good to hear. All right, let's get it going. We'll get to the rest of them later. Hey, sorry, Jedi. They did have the commercial running in the beginning, and sorry, everybody in the chat, if you had to see the commercial. We know because the number dropped to 0. All right, Jedi, go back to the restaurant horn. Tell everybody who's here.
Okay, well, when he's not rescuing storylines or blowing up silly rumors, he's the front man for, oh yeah, Shoot First, a Macho Man Star Wars fusion tribute band. Rock on with their hit song, Hey Freak Show, Never Tell Me the Odds, from their debut album, Force Choke, 3 minutes of playtime. Dig it. It's our own Macho Man, Marco.
Oh, yeah.
In 1985, he told Coca-Cola, don't change it. In 1998, he warned Lay's that Wow chips wouldn't work and would cause a stink. Now he's cautioning Disney, you're breaking Boba, and no drug can ease this pain. It's the visionary Pete Renovision. He's recommended a lot of things to get Book of Boba Fett where it needs to be. Less flashbacks? Nope, didn't work. More flashbacks, but with an objective. Nope, not liking that one either. Now it's down to needs more cowbells. It's the guy behind the curtain, J.J. Maxwell. While wearing his new re-armored Boba helmet, he whispers to himself each morning in the mirror, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. We do. It's Dom Poper, and the hunt is on. The Book of Boba Fett may be his toughest opponent since the Purple Cobras of Globo Gym. He just can't get a beat on it. He's committed, though, and breaking out the wrenches. It's Sam, triple dodgeball. and he gets no respect. On the first day of lightsaber training, other Padawans teased him about the size of his lightsaber. Master Yoda interrupted. Judge him by its size, do you? But yes, it's too small it is. Meditate more, you must. Grow it will. Yep, that's me, Jedi Johnson 22. That's good advice, though. Let's go.
That's hilarious.
I'm done.
I think you're muted, Marco.
In your intros, did you just make a joke about some chips, potato chips that were in the like late 90s, early 80s that gave people the runs because they ate too much?
Yep.
Yes. I thought you did.
Yeah. Because they use the weird oil.
Yeah, whatever.
They use that weird oil.
Hey, what's going on, Chef Harris? It's supposed to be like low fat or something, and then like it gave everybody the runs.
Yeah, it was like an oil substitute.
Yeah. Not good. Well, that's good. All right, say hello to bad guy Dom. All right, I don't know what that means, but all right. Love the intros. We all do. Okay, let's get it started. Let's get
Bad
the
guy.
news.
It's Scarface.
Yeah, I know that.
Scarface quote.
Oh, well, we'll get to
Or
Book of Fett
maybe it's
reviews.
Razor Ramon.
Yeah, maybe it was Razor Ramon. Here we go. Let's go, JJ. Start getting into it.
Oh, right in the news. So
Annual leakage. Very good.
Star
That's
Wars.
they're putting it. Ed.
Star Wars news, not news. But Children of the Bone, Blood and Bone. Probably nobody remembers this, but in the Disney Plus or Disney Investors show where they announced like the 10 Star Wars shows and like all these other awesome things, they also announced, hey, we're going to do like non-Star Wars stuff at Lucasfilm.
The Willow,
and this book was one of them. But new properties, I guess. But this book was supposed to be one of them. It's supposed to be a trilogy of books, and they basically just let the rights expire on the book, and the book hadn't even come out yet. So, but Paramount picked it up. So I don't know, maybe something to look forward to.
Yeah, bidding war too.
But yeah.
Wow.
So apparently, the non-Star Wars initiative of new stuff is not going to happen. Doesn't seem like it.
I mean, whatever. Well, I thought this was completely. I heard a rumor this was completely cast, and Siri was going to show up in it, and so was Ahsoka Tano, and they were going to get in a fight with Cad Bane. That's what I heard. So
just wait until the Holocron.
Well,
later, you'll find out.
I know you guys don't care about Indiana Jones, but this is Indiana Jones too, right?
Oh, the new Indiana Jones. Yeah.
Well, no, they're still keeping the Indiana Jones stuff and Willow and all that, but this book series,
they're keeping it. Yeah.
Well, they were trying to do new properties.
Yeah,
not Indiana Jones or Willow, like stuff they already own, but new
hopefully they're
properties.
not going to do anything after. From what I hear of this Indiana Jones, hopefully they're not going to do any more of it. You got.
I don't want to hear the word after. I don't want them to do this one.
Yeah. Well,
I love
Indiana 5. Yeah.
I mean, it's taken about 2 years to shoot this thing. If Harrison Ford breaks a hip again, I mean, it could be another 5 years.
Indiana Jones to break out of the nursing home.
Yeah, right. Worse than the Rockies. All right, here we go.
All right, so I wasn't going to do any more of these bounty.
This is the best one.
Merchandise things, but yeah. So we did get a cool Gentle Giant statue. It looks pretty awesome coming out. Of course, like all Gentle Giant statues, cost like 3 times as much as I want to pay for it. But
Dom's excited about it, though. He bought it already. Dom, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
But
okay. Maybe we'll do an unboxing.
Other goodies include the twins on a tote bag, the Hutt twins on a tote bag, and apparently Danny Trejo's face is everywhere as the Rancor Keeper. Which I find it funny. There's no name yet. It's just Rancor Keeper. But yeah, you can buy your Danny Trejo. Yeah, your Danny Trejo Rancor Keeper socks is clearly
just
the
what I
item.
need.
Is any name they could give him better than Rancor Keeper?
Oh, we get to see it.
All right,
Shannon. Yes.
Well, they never gave him an actual name.
Yeah, they didn't give him a name.
Part of the
Doesn't have a
problem,
name yet.
yeah.
He's just like in there. Hey, what's going on, Joe? How much are the socks? Do we know how much the socks cost?
I forget. I think it was like $15, but I don't remember.
Yeah,
I could
exactly.
when this came through the wire to me from you, JJ. I turned to the wife and said, "Hey, I think I'm gonna buy those." She turned, laughed at me, and said, "No, you're not." I've never heard her say that before, but like, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe we should buy them. We'll give them away.
I'm still gonna buy them. No, I'm buying them for myself. The question is like the tote. Does that mean we're getting more? Are we getting more Hutts? Are we getting more?
I have no idea.
We're not getting more of any of these people. None of them are coming back.
We will see. Go ahead with this. What is this?
Yep. So
Why?
Speaking of merchandising, I don't know, but apparently the USA Hockey's jerseys will be Star Wars themed, and apparently Mark Hamill loves it.
Wow.
I thought it was neat, but it kind of makes no sense. But it's neat.
What?
Yeah, I bet you
What?
Mark
Apparently
does.
Luke
Mark's got,
Skywalker.
hey, Mark's going like this. Yes, I like that very much. My likeness, of course, I'll take
Yeah.
that. Of course, I will.
Yeah, would he see that, or would it just go to Disney?
What? Well, I don't get this.
Well, if he uses his likeness, I would assume he gets a cut somehow.
It's a
But I don't know.
He
Maybe
gets a
not.
royalty. He'll get
Yeah.
a royalty.
You get royalty on this. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not
why are they
understanding
doing
why
it?
Luke, of all the characters, why Luke?
I have no idea. Apparently, Luke Skywalker is popular in the Olympics. I don't know.
Well,
Why
forget
not?
why are they putting advertisements on Olympic jerseys to begin
Why not?
with?
He's the Raycor keeper. The Raycor keeper.
Yeah, but didn't he lose? Didn't he lose in his hockey match on Hoth? Isn't that what happened? They were playing hockey on Hoth, and he got jacked by that big Yeti snowman.
Yeah,
Mhm.
The Wampa. The Wampa was
yeah,
on the other
Wampa,
team.
yeah.
Don't crap up one of the last few sports. Yeah, I don't know. This doesn't make any sense, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put
I
it
look
on
forward to
there.
the Summer Olympics, in which we will get Grogu on the soccer jerseys, probably.
Yeah, right.
We probably will.
Star
We'll put
Wars
his face
they
on the
put that
ball.
on anything.
Grogu face on the ball.
Oh, there's the
Yeah,
Grogu.
Grogu.
Putting it on
Speaking
anything.
of,
Yeah. Speaking of Grogu,
What is
let me
this?
Sagu, as Brian would say, too. Yeah. So we'll get to this later, probably in the review section. I'm sure it's Marco's newest favorite book, but there were a couple articles on the special pastries, which, by the way, these aren't it. These are some pastries I just pulled a picture up of that looked like Baby Yoda. Some special Yoda pastries recipe. So
That looks like
apparently that's
Grogu.
making the rounds on the net right now. Yeah. Those
More
actually
little
look kind of good. I
Grogu
think
in
they're
his
supposed to
little
be like
carrier.
macaroons. But,
That doesn't look good.
those are cream puffs.
I
Yeah,
don't-
it's,
Are they
it's,
cream
it's
puffs?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
not appealing colors of green
No,
and
no,
brown.
pistachio. Maybe it's pistachio.
Who cares? It looks like it came out the wrong end of a snail.
It's the wrong tone of green.
Okay, yeah.
Actually,
Ugh.
Looks like
Okay.
refried beans and some guacamole on a little bun.
Oh, now you're speaking. Now you're talking my language. Here we go.
But it's missing some meat.
Yep. So, scuttlebutt, or rumor, as you would have it, is putting Bad Batch Season 2 as spring. So we know it's going to be next year. They kind of already told us that, but I guess it's going to be a little bit sooner than that. I was thinking fall, but
Well, yeah.
apparently the rumor this week was spring.
well, I think it
Like a
makes
couple
sense.
months,
Hopefully.
because Andor is supposed to come out in the fall. So
Yeah.
I should have
So
just.
what,
I
so-
should.
Is
Go
it
ahead.
2022 or 2023 for this? I thought it was 2022. Did I misread that?
yeah, this year.
This year, this spring.
Okay, this
No,
year.
it is
Okay.
2022.
I thought-
Yeah, this spring.
Okay. Oh, okay. I thought JJ said next year. Okay.
Yeah, but Dava, what'd you say? Oh, because it's going to come. Endor's
Oh,
come after.
I'm still a year behind, I guess. But yeah, 2022.
2022 just started. That's fine. I still do it. Too.
All right. Next up. Hey,
All right,
Sticks,
video
there
game
you go.
lovers.
There you go, Sticks.
Get ready for Fortnite to bring back the lightsabers, which I think they've had before, but I don't know if these are, I guess, weren't there before, or if they're the same ones they're bringing them back, because I don't play Fortnite, but apparently it was a big deal in
So last,
Fortnite
no, he
before.
does. He does. He
Or-
does. Sticks does. So he knows. He's on top of it.
So does the purple one mean we're getting Mace
Yeah.
Windu?
Yes. Don't worry. Tom will let us know. All right.
All right, casting news. Apparently, my favorite actress, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, will be in Ahsoka. So yeah, Ramona Flowers is going to apparently be in
Who?
the Ahsoka show. As what role? Nobody knows.
Who was
Nobody
she?
has any idea at this moment.
It's Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, I have
He was
no
Ramona
idea who
Flowers.
She was in Scott Pilgrim and a bunch of other bad movies
Oh
in
yeah,
which she acted poorly.
Ramona, the
Huntress.
girl that he was after.
Gemini Man.
And who do you
Did
think?
anybody see
Who could
Gemini
forget
Man?
that?
Pete, who did you try to mock?
Actually, I
yourself
did.
as?
Phil had said Barris Ophi. So
Oh,
I
Jesus.
mocked her up as Barris.
Oh god,
Oh Jesus, that's a good one. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
nobody knows what she plays. It should be interesting to see who she plays, but I'm going to guess it's
McGregor's
probably
main
somebody we don't
swing.
know yet.
Swiss Army Man. She was in Swiss Army Man too. You guys remember that show?
John McClane.
Yeah, Joe's doing also Birds of Prey. He's right there too. So yeah,
All right.
all quality movies. All quality movies.
Oh, quality.
She was Die Hard 6.
Yeah,
which wasn't
yeah.
that quality, bro.
Was she really
Yeah.
John McClane's daughter?
Yeah, she's the one
Oh,
that
wow.
with the boyfriend that who was the dorky boyfriend that he had that was the Kevin Smith one. The one that Kevin Smith was.
Oh,
Oh,
Justin Long,
it was,
yeah.
Justin Long.
Miss Obi-Wan. Steph, what's going on? How's she gonna be Miss Obi-Wan if she's in Ahsoka?
that'd
No,
be
she
interesting.
dates Ewan McGregor. in real life.
Oh, she dates. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. So maybe she will. Hey, Kev. Hey, by the way, hey Zen. What's going on? All right, cool. Could still play Dr. Aphra in Ahsoka Tano?
No, didn't they pick somebody for that?
No, I think rumors.
Not
picked
Afro. I'm
everybody.
sorry. I'm
No,
thinking it's
but-
Bean.
Now they
All
picked
right, so
Sabine.
I mean, she could. That'd be an
I
odd
don't know.
casting, but
Yeah, that'd be weird. Who
I'm
knows?
still hoping for Chloe Bennett.
Okay. I mean, you're. It's
well,
still,
she's already
it's still
casted
weird.
in Kenobi. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So she'd be too. She's too old to be Afro. All right. Comic book review. We got the High Republic. That once again, Jedi doing good. This book's all right. The cover. What do you guys think of this cover on the right? I thought way too much teeth. People
little
liked
bit.
it. I don't know. And then I picked one up because the cover on the left sucks too. All right. Here we go. We're starting back off. What's very interesting is at the end of the show, we are going to review the novel. What's the novel's name again there, JJ?
Fallen Star.
Fallen Star. And this comic book now is taking place is Fallen Star, really? Yeah, okay. Right before Fallen
The
Star.
novel,
Sorry.
I think, yeah.
I'm off today. We got our man Zatir. He's out of his mech suit. He's talking to Marchand Rowe, who for some reason doesn't wear a helmet anymore. Now just shows his hair and his vampire look at all
that's
points.
Krang.
Yeah.
You said out of the Mexican.
Oh, Crane. Yeah. And then we get a little bit more D in there. We actually, what's interesting is this has a lot to do with a lot of the books because the character there that looks like Earthworm Jim, that's that's Quan, and he's from like, he's the splicer from, what was that one? Tempest Runner. Like he's the hacker from Tempest Runner.
Okay.
They actually have a couple more of those characters in here too, which is kind of interesting. Not that it's a big deal, but it's just like, oh, so you look like an earthworm. Okay. They're going back and forth.
Do they know what earthworms are?
What's that?
Do they know what earthworms are? It's a galaxy far, far away.
Well, he looks like a
They're Alderaan worms in that galaxy.
Either way, so they're getting a fight there's pretty much a fight going on internally where D finally goes, look, Marchand, we know what you are. You're going to sacrifice us and protect yourself, but we'll take care of it. The Jedi come cruising by and they're like, yeah, let's just go blow them up because the Jedi will never attack first, but the Jedi do. They end up shooting first, which is always a good decision to shoot first. Then our man Zatir starts crying because his mech crane suit isn't properly ready. And he's like, shut up. You got a flamethrower, go light people on fire. Now, also, so the brain type character here in the middle panel that looks like a brain, that was like one of the bounty guards in Tempest Runner, if you read or listened to that book. That's one of the two. The other one is to the right. So these are all characters that are coming out of the books, which is kind of cool to at least get like whatever you thought they looked like. These are terrible looking characters because one looks like a worm and the other looks like a brain, I guess, a fat brain. No, not Krang, the purple-headed brain thing with the gas mask on.
Oh,
that's one of that's what that character, which is Magla or whatever, is one of the bodyguard that ends up bodyguarding the other person that D ends up trying to kill and then comes and bodyguards D. So
looks like a Road Warrior California raisin.
Yeah, either way. Yeah, I mean, whatever. That's not exactly what I thought it was, but we got Chris now who's snapped, right? I mean, that's the only way you can do it. She jumps right into the smoke and ends up blowing up Zatir's Krang outfit. There you go. Then Kiwi's like the mind of reason, I guess, because Chris is like, kill these dudes. Kiwi, one hand's not even looks, throws one of the hill to the wall and is like, listen, you need to stop. And then they start getting into a battle going back and forth. And Chris is like, I've lost the song, which is, I mean, maybe they're kind of making her interesting, I guess. So even though the song thing was stupid.
Yeah.
And Kiwi, for some reason, shows you how weak Chris was as a character anyways, because she knocks her down. But then D ends up having her own people fire on the ship, which knocks out Kiwi. And here comes Laura D in her super mech outfit. This looks like something out of Ninjago. But what are you going to do?
I was going to say it's Age of Apocalypse. That's
Maybe.
that's Apocalypse's kid.
Yeah.
You know what
So
I'm talking about?
she's got the super blade for some reason. I don't even know what this is. It was a good fight scene, though. The whole fight scene was good. They did a great job with it. Like I said, she gets her old squad to fire against her. Then she's going to go boom, boom, bang and knock out Chris. Chris is like, oh, man, it's coming to an end. And then she decides to force power blow this suit up into pieces. I didn't know you could do that, but if Leia can walk through space, then she can do that. So there you go.
Yeah,
Luke did it.
Next up, we get a callback to Jedi vs. Sith, which is like the second week in a row we've had this happen. And the bad character picks up a lightsaber, which just happens to be Tex, the twin that died. It's his lightsaber, which infuriates
Tarek.
Tarek. Yeah, she goes to the dark side.
Tomax?
Which Sartan's kid is it, Pete?
Was Tomac or was it Zaymont?
Zaymont. Okay, it's Zaymont. Okay, so it's Zaymont's, and Chris goes for the Jedi versus the Sith and cuts off the hand with the lightsaber. Smoking hand. She's about to do the execution, and we stop right there with Kiwi going no. I mean, listen, if you read the novels and you're getting into it, like this is actually kind of cool how you're starting to see when the Jedi start getting tempted that a lot of dark side stuff starts showing up, which is pretty cool. So we now have got 2 major Jedi out of the 3 that seem to both have touched the dark side at one point or another.
Plus, you got a hand getting cut off.
Yeah, well, I mean, both books. You had Star Wars 20 last week. You had or 21. You had man refer to Bane, which in that book, that was the one where Bane cut somebody's hand, or somebody cut somebody's hand. It was Bane cut his hand off in that book. That's where.
Hey, let's be real.
Did you notice too
Go ahead.
Let's be real.
that
Pete.
comic, the red eyes?
Yeah.
Let's be real, Pete. There's no surprise that she got her hand cut off. The real surprise is that everybody's hands aren't cut off all the time.
Oh, with the lightsaber. Yeah. Very good. Very good. That's kind of cool that they both went back and touched the dark side. So we're going to see which one of those 2, if not both of them, they might have a 2 love affair, but we'll get into it later. Dr. Afra 18. We got a little Hondo.
What is going on that cover?
The middle cover?
The one on the left.
Oh, yeah. It
Looks like a shadowy figure's telling them to dance.
We talked about this
Yeah,
last
dancer.
time. It
Move
actually,
my furniture.
It looked like that when it came out. It's a crappy cover, man. It just sucks. The cover sucks. Middle cover's interesting. The right cover. I bet you people will go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs because there's a new character on the cover that's a bartender with one eye.
Pirate Twi'lek.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. Yep. Here we go. So we get here. It starts off with Lucky, and it was Lucky and Ariel's relationship the first couple pages, but I doubt anybody wanted to watch just people laying around in bed. So we move it over to where he takes part and starts talking to our friend, the bartender, who I don't even know how to say her name. Durania. That's what I'm going with. I'm going with Durania. And we find out that the more important part is we found out that Lucky stole one of the 5 rings that ended up almost killing Ronan Tag. So that's kind of cool. But he's got a little bit of I wish my boyfriend was still here, blah, 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 blah. We switch over to Afra, who's now chasing. If you remember the creepy looking hair girl, that Kofan, whatever. I'm not gonna say your last name because it sounds kind of messed up, but Kofan is the clown looking girl that's trying to get all the artifacts. She's also whatever. We'll see her later.
Harley Quinn.
She's the Harley Quinn one that cuts off everybody's arms and then uses them to fight them. Well, she's been trying to pick up all these artifacts in the meantime, just killing people every place she goes. Sanson and Afra getting some fighting back and forth. Oh, there she is in that panel right there. You see her jumping around on the 3rd panel. And Afra's always one step behind her. She's trying to find out what the end game is. So she goes back and sees this cat named Boo, whatever the heck they call him. Interesting. By the way, watch him. Very interesting. He's the guy that tried to do back earlier in this arc when it wasn't good. He was the guy who tried to, who had said he had recreated the path engines, but Afra found out that it was a fake because she tried to steal it and it wasn't real. So anyway, she's there. He's like, oh, you proved that I was wrong. Oh, and here we go. Here's our girl, Kai Fan, whatever. She's just moping around saying that all these artifacts are fake. She's got to find the real deal of Randall Holyfield. She ends up catching back up because Afra decided to use Craigslist to trap her. So she catfished her on Craigslist, I guess. I don't know. Either way. So what she ended up doing was getting our man Boo here to list an artifact on the equivalent of either Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. And of course, Fan then comes out and she's like,
Makari?
Huh? Yeah, Makari, whatever. Apparently they didn't plan on meeting in a police officer's parking lot. Instead, they decided to meet in a shady warehouse, at which point Kofan brought most of it down on top of them, then did some like secret witchery stuff. And then was like, cool, I'm going to get an artifact, get out of here, bye-bye, which then led Afra to know where they're going, and this should climax there. I have no clue why this is a tie-in for the Crimson Reign. Was there anything about Crimson Reign in this book?
There was a holocron. I think she was talking to, what's her name?
That was 2 books ago. That was last book.
You sure?
Yeah, it was last
If
book.
I'm not
when she was
mistaken.
talking to,
I think there was something in this book when she was looking for the artifact.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's pretty stupid to call it a tie-in when it doesn't have a tie-in. Hey, what's going on, Sean? And being on this cover. The hand's leaving. Okay. We should do a lost uncount stories. That's cool. Yeah. Sam, what's going on too? I didn't see you, but good to see you again.
Yeah, we might get more of a bump once this game ends.
This is just called, as you can see. Yeah. As you can see for the title, this book is just called Not Good. I hope you didn't waste $6 on this thing. It wasn't good. I will post I'll take pictures and post on IG tomorrow.
What about the 1 in 10? I think that was selling this week.
That was selling because somebody said that, because some of the characters were supposedly, it's garbage. This book's garbage. Because there's new characters in it, and it's the worst thing they've ever done. All right, so here's the
tasty treats.
It was so bad I didn't even scan this book. I just took pictures and was like, it's stupid.
Baseball 1?
It's so dumb. What? Who?
The ship. It looks like Spaceball 1. It's like super long.
First what though? No, that's not true. What you tell me what first is going to show up? This captain guy here or no, there's no first that are going to show up. So they go back and they're like, oh yeah, this is a throwback to when there was the destruction on the pass. Yeah, you wasted $6 on this one. I didn't worry.
You wasted $6.
Hey, yeah, there's some stupid little kids in there nobody cares about. And they're like, you got to tell a story while we're doing the baking. So they go to Master, nobody gives a crap about you. And you're sitting here whining by a tree. Oh, that's the first appearance that's supposed to be so important. A master that nobody gives. They're really just giving, like, by the way, I think this guy's dead already too, in real time. So he doesn't want to leave, but they talk him out of it. It was just bad. And then they go, hey, let's stop everything that we're doing. And after you say
the comic centered around a bake-off. What did you expect?
And let's go. But we got to tell more story here. Yay. Look, Burry's there. Burry's right there. Burry might be dead at this point. Oh, shoot. I skipped all the way to head. Oh, no. I'm sorry. Where's the other one? There's 2 Masters of Nothing. And he threw this one out into space. I don't even think I added the one. That's how bad.
Well, guess what? You laugh, you cry, you kiss $6 goodbye.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah. Okay, so here's one of the big characters. This little master here who wants to die on the ship is going to be a big thing. No, $1,000 waste seeker. $1,000 he doesn't. It's Grimwall. Yeah, no. He's talking about this guy right here, the guy that wants to give up on the world. He's been Griswold the Noble, who's been sitting around in a ship for like 20 years or 200 years, and like, no, he's not showing up. Sorry if you wasted $6. Or is this one Griswold? Like I said, nobody cares because it's 2 masters that just wouldn't leave a ship. If you're a master Jedi, why are you scared sitting on ships, by the way? And you're doing nothing. This one has to be tossed like a baby in space to buckets of blood, for Christ's sakes. It made no sense. Use the force and force shit yourself over there. It sucked. I'll put out the recipe later so you guys don't have to waste money. All right. And next week, we've got the Trial by Shadows. I actually like the middle incentive on it because I like that character guy. Yeah, you could have lost a hand. Right. Somebody could have got a cooking accident, lost a hand, chopped it off, set it on fire. No.
All 3 of these covers.
I'm not trying to get a hard time wasting. No, I don't think so. I think if you look at the way all the books are going, I think what's happening is they had shit just sitting on the floor, and IDW's like, we lost this property. Let's horse shit this one shot out real quickly so we can get paid on some bullshit. Trails of Shadow hasn't finished its final art, but could also be a great incentive color at the end. That's for number 4. We also got the FOC for Republic 14. 15?
That's a cover.
Which it's not the final art, but that means that they don't kill her, right? So that's kind of cool. That Dee is gonna not be dead, and she's got a bandage on her hip somehow. So we'll see. It looks like the A cover looks like it sucks because it's just a mock of the regular cover. So another Noto, that's okay. And there's an FOC for Vader 20. Did anybody say they would probably like just fill all the orders and then do a second print. I don't know if any show said that before, but I have a feeling it sounds repetitive.
Well, you also said that they would extend the FOC and then maybe.
Well, they did. They extended the FOC for 2 days and then they filled them and then they put out a second print. This is called Beskar. They're calling this the Beskar print.
Variant.
I tell you what, looking at this cover in the whatever color, what they say, Beskar or silver or gray or whatever.
No, they call it Beskar.
It makes me wish they'd done them all like that because I think it looks better than the gold.
Oh, I do. I think it looks better than gold too. What's going on, Dusty?
Well, gold's 50.
Barbara, you talking about the cook-off? Yeah, that cook-off book sucks, man. It sucks, dude. They are calling this, they're calling this Beskar. So, I mean, have your whatever. I actually like it though. You're right, Jed. I think this is the better of the two copies.
What they should have did was make this chrome. It would have been nice if they made it chrome.
They can call it whatever they want. It's still just a second print.
Yeah, but it's better. But Jedi's right. It's better than that gold copper crap that they have going in the.
Yeah, but at this point, what's the
I'm
difference?
just glad we did get like a second print 1 in 25.
There really is not a point.
Yeah.
That's why we started doing that market thing to show everybody that they dropped off. We've got some great fans. So I see them on IG going like, we've waited now. We're not falling into the bullshit. So like, there you go. Public service announcements. This is cooler. This is the cooler of the two either way. We tried to help you out with that, guys. I hope you didn't overpay online and promise somebody $100 for a book. But what are you going to do? What do I have next?
What was that? Comic review? Well, we
doing
have
the Book of Boba Fett review.
Oh, Book of Boba Fett review. Let me see.
Well, yeah, we're moving this. Oh, wait. No, we're going to do.
We got a special video from a friend of ours that we're going to do. If you could you pull up? We've got a little Ruben video for everybody. We have a little video that should be good. We kind of gave a preview of it last week. Let's get through it this week. It's kind of some cool stuff. So rock and roll, Pete. And then we'll come back with the Book of Fett review.
Hey guys, it's Ruben. Now, after a long conversation with Pete, we decided we're going to make this a monthly series. A monthly series focusing on one of the items that I gave him on the list. And he chose one. And it just so happened to be prints. Limited edition prints. So I'm going to take a few minutes, go through what I have here, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So welcome to the Darkside Cave. All right, the first couple of prints actually come from an artist named Brian Rude. These are actually on my wall. I'm sorry about the glare. There's nothing I can do about it. This A New Hope one was actually from Star Wars Celebration 2015. This is number 90 out of 250. This Empire Strikes Back one is actually from Star Wars Celebration 5, number 174 out of 250. Return of the Jedi, Celebration 4, number 35 out of 250. This is the Star Wars 30th Anniversary, number 180 out of 250. And this is Star Wars Celebration 2017, number 122 out of 250. This next one I want to focus on is actually from the official Star Wars fan club, limited to 2000, number 1151. This one happens to be one of my favorites. The last one on my wall that I want to focus on is this William Silvers. This is 11 of 95. I do have other prints in Mylars and in tubes, and I will be opening those next. These next three are from an artist named Chris Trevas. This is Star Wars Celebration 2017. This is number 221 out of 250. The Courier Intercepted. This one's Celebration 4, number 235 out of 250. This one's called His Vision Returns. This one Dom would love. This is Star Wars Celebration 5, The Hunter and His Prey. This is actually an artist proof out of 250. These next few are from an artist named Joe, and I hope I'm saying his last name right, Correny. This is Star Wars Celebration 17, 95 out of 250. I Rebel. This one's Star Wars Celebration 2015, 18 out of 250. The Inquisitor's Gift. This is one from Celebration Europe that I did not attend, but I was able to obtain an artist proof out of 250. The Slave Princess. This one is from Celebration 5 by Mark Wolf, Legacy of Valor. Number 131 out of 250. This one's actually from a company called Dark Ink Art. They did Mustafar, I believe they did Dagobah, and I believe Tatooine. This is number 107 out of 250. This one was also from Dark Ink Art. Number 34 out of 250. It's called The Gift. This one was from Sideshow Collectibles. It's called Dark Knight. 195 out of 250. This one is from Star Wars Celebration 4. The artist's name is Brent Woodside. He actually drew an Anakin for me. And this is number 18 out of 250.
That's cool.
This one is actually from an artist named Jerry Vanderstelt. This is actually number 1 out of 150. The last limited edition I have is from Dave Dorman. A Slight Disturbance of the Force on the Battlefield of Hoth. He actually took the time and drew me a Boba Fett from Celebration 5. All right, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do have a lot of things, and hopefully I can show off the majority of it. A few things before I go, though. Zaggy. I was actually going through some drawers, and I found some Pogs. So you haven't stumped me yet, buddy. I think the next person that's going to pick is going ahead and be Astro. I'd like to see what he wants. And there is one last thing. I was actually messaged on Instagram about pegs and how they don't hold 9 figures. Now, I explained it to him, and I want to make sure this is very clear. I special ordered 12-inch pegs, but just to prove it.
Yep,
Count on
that's
yourself,
9.
guys. May the Force be with you all.
Dude, don't be trying to call out people when they say stuff like, get out. What is wrong with you people? Whoever did that, shame on you. That was really cool.
Deep.
Yeah, like it was 9 deep, guys. Like, what do you think he's just making it up in line? Like, ooh, I used 9 deep. No, they make 12 inches. Why? Some of us are 12 inches and other ones are Jedi Johnson. So, you know what I mean? Like, you don't use 12 inches. One more thing to get back to the.
You meditate.
Yeah.
I meditated on several things.
Meditating on slave labor.
Twilight dancers.
Apparently you like slave
Meditating on
labor.
Twilight dancers helps the best. So
Indentured servant, Leia.
Indentured servants. Yeah. Indentured servants. Real quickly, this is something I forgot because we got off track with the crap book of the week. The one good part that was in the crap book of the week, the cookbook, was that there is a recipe in the back. So do not waste your time. I'm not only going to post it to IG, but the reason why I mentioned that is because I think we might have a challenge coming up here probably in the next month or so where we might actually see if we can make anything that resembles the recipe and not poison ourselves. No cheating, guys, but we will do that probably right at the end of Book of Fett, which is like 3 weeks, so probably in 4 weeks, just so you guys know. All right? Because somebody said something about
I got
it.
a quick question for Ruben. He can, if he wants to throw it up in chat, but a quick question. Ruben has little kids, right? If I remember right. Are his kids allowed in that room?
Didn't he say they weren't?
I would
can't
say
remember.
no.
Did he?
Yeah.
Lock and
I think he
key?
said-
Yeah.
yeah, I think he said they were not.
More for safety's sake, because those 9 pegs, they fall.
Yeah.
all of a sudden.
Yeah. Okay, so with that being said, hold on. All right.
Ruben says no.
What's that? Yeah, no, yeah.
Ruben
no,
says
absolutely not.
no.
No, that was more of a Vader in
Yeah, no.
episode 3.
I hear you. I mean, my youngest son's 25, and when I see him in this room, I'm like, "What are you doing? You don't belong in here." So,
Good to see you, Sam. I think we said hi to Justin already. We also forgot to say hi to Andy T. Andy, good to have you. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I let my kids in here all the time. I don't care, but I'm different, built different. Apparently,
Built different.
built different.
I don't even have a room. I mean, I have a room, but there's just a bunch of boxes in there.
I mean, I have like the stuff. Yeah, like the stuff like back here. You can't see it, but there's like I have a safe room in my
Listen, a 1-bedroom New York City apartment can only go so far.
Yeah. I mean, I have a safe room in my house, and like the real stuff's in there, so it doesn't like the kids can go in there if we have to.
Hey,
shelter
it's a
them.
safety thing. It's more so than me saving my collectibles. This
I
stuff
hope
is
we have
stacked
a
pretty high.
huge insurance policy on that stuff because, God forbid,
You can it always lets you go back out there and get it again. Then, right? Like, start over. All right, let's get into the Book of Fett. I've got JJ. Thank you for cutting together the reviews this week. Let's add this to the stream. We start out with JJ's. Can we get off of the? Yeah,
There we go. I got it.
Perfect. Can we start off with? We start off with JJ's favorite part. That's why I made him cut these this week. Is we started off with the flashback. JJ, how do you feel about flashbacks in the Book of Fett now after this week?
At least it served a purpose this week, and it wasn't like. Actually, you know what? I didn't really like a lot of the flashback either. Come to think of it, we'll get to it here in the review. But the Bantha rides need to end.
Oh
like,
yeah.
How are we still taking?
Okay, I'll tell you why.
Bantha rides?
I will tell you why, and it's not an excuse why
They
they're
did
doing
it,
it. But it's because that Bantha is actually a puppet. That one, not the rest of them, but that one that Boba rides is a puppet. They made that motherfucker, and you sure as shit.
So they just wanted to use it because it was expensive.
Yeah, expensive as shit. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I've seen a lot of
looks-
Bantha merch at least popping up on my IG. I mean, are they trying to sell Bantha merch too? Is that part of it?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Live
If you,
Bantha voodoo for your garden.
listen, if you pitch building that, like we've found out some of the prices of other puppets that they've built and never used before. If you're building that puppet, it's very expensive. So you definitely are selling it like, no, don't worry. It won't be in the back closet. It won't turn into the melted turtles. Like we're actually going to use it and we can sell merch off of it and that thing from what I hear is very expensive. So that's why they have the Bantha rides all the time.
You notice he looks so satisfied up on that Bantha. He looks more satisfied on that Bantha than he does on Jabba's throne.
Yeah.
He sits up there. Yeah, this is what my life should be.
Yeah. It should be like, I'm cruising.
I got a back to tank question for you guys.
Go ahead.
How does he sleep like this? His nose isn't covered. What's to prevent him from automatically breathing in his nose while sleeping?
Air pressure.
All clones were installed. Our clones were installed with a chip in their brain, and they also have
They're all
no
mouth
nasal
breathers.
cavities.
Is what you're
Yeah,
telling
they
me?
have no nasal cavities. So that's.
I feel like this every time I wear a CPAP mask at night. My back.
Star Wars, buddy. Star Wars. Okay, next up. So he starts off in the back.
Luke had the thing covered his nose.
Okay. That's
saying.
that out of all the things on this show this
It
week.
was sitting on the screen for too long. I got to thinking while looking at it.
They say the Bantha tastes like. Oh, good lord! All right. Yeah, and the scooters too, right? So then he goes back and he's like, I gotta go get Slave 1 or Fire Spray or Boba Fett's ship, whatever.
Which I can't.
Slave 1.
Doesn't make any sense.
Slave 1.
Wait, what is it? Bib Fortuna has got to be like the storage back fees on having that thing for like 4 years. Why is it still there? Like, why wouldn't you part it out or sell it or do something with it?
Because
No, I'll just
maybe
keep it for 4 years.
They don't know how to operate it. Think about
Well, you
that.
can take it apart.
Somebody will haul it.
Take it apart.
Give it to
Want
the
to
Jawas.
operate it. It's like
the
the
Jawas.
easiest operated thing. Like,
Well, you know what? Maybe because it looked badass, so they have it there. They just kept it as a trophy.
Is it
Yeah, I
booby
can see
trapped,
it.
Dom? Is that it?
Star Wars. Anyways,
Star Wars.
so now he's just looking at a hole and going, wow, there's a lot of people there. I better figure something out. They do the whole backtracking where they catch up to where I kind of said they would in 4. They also reveal something that is interesting. He says at one point that the Sarlacc pit was years ago, so it was years of training with the Tusken Raiders.
Like 4 years.
Well, he didn't say
He
how
wasn't
many
there for years
ago. Huh?
or a year.
No, he
Nothing.
said years ago, so it doesn't. I mean, whatever. But there you go. For all the people that were really worried what he did for years, he was between. That's what he did. He was in a pit and then he trained. So, okay. He gets
Do
Shan.
you think if oh sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Do you think that if his adopted Tusken family village had not been slaughtered, do you think Boba would have been content just to live out his rest of his days with them?
That's what
Probably.
he said.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, he said
Well,
that,
he
I
was
think.
still getting them money and going to have them organized to.
because his dances with Tuscans, and that's the exact way the movie went. So he would have been content
Also-
to just stay there.
Also, can we go back to Fennec Shand for a second? Is this not the lamest introduction of a character ever? I mean, I know we know her already, but like how did Fennec Shand hook up with Boba Fett? He just kind of bumped into her in the desert one time.
You found her.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw the light.
whoops,
That's-
here
Here
she is.
In the sky, right?
Yeah.
Listen, it's
This
funny,
was part we already knew.
that end of the episode, the gunslinger. I said it was Boba Fett. No one believed me, and when it happened, I got phone calls and it said, "Told you."
Yeah, so he went to the pit skitty and came out hung. Okay. No, I mean the Fennec Shand part about it though, he does say before that he knew who she was. So I guess if you have to do the math and put two to two together, he
And-
looked at that, said, I need somebody, and then found a half dead assassin's like, oh well, she's gonna owe me a life debt.
Mhm.
I guess that's
Yeah, they both have-
bad batch. Maybe
They both have.
yeah.
I don't think he did it for the. I don't think he did it for the life debt because he says that later on that that's not why he saved her. He saved her because
That's
she
why
was
he saved
dying.
her. Yeah, he did though.
And he says,
But-
"No one's good without a tribe."
Yeah, he saw the flares, but
Right.
Kev, there's like a half dead person there. Who cares? There's got to be stuff going on in the desert all the time.
I think
I don't know, it's a desert.
I think if you get to the deep psyche part of it, I think he did for her what the Tuscans did for him, even though the Tuscans basically took
there you
him
go.
as a hostage originally, but saved her life to continue on because there's no point in her dying just sitting there in the desert.
The Gathering Storm. Jesus, this was terrible. Like, first off,
Oh my
this
God.
isn't even the worst part of it. The worst part is when he's approaching it, and you just have the one guy going like this.
Yeah.
And you have
Oh,
the
we
other-
love this.
Listen,
Yeah, that's
It's like tattoo parlors, and they're young kids that are
It's
walking
nothing
around
like
getting
tattoo parlors.
tattoos.
Absolutely
Exactly.
not.
There's a big
You're
difference
a
between getting a tattoo and getting your arm removed for a
I know, but
goddamn-
it's like a
Lord.
tattoo parlor. Think about it. Appointments only.
It's the same vibe. Same vibe.
It's exactly like a tattoo parlor, but that's part of the problem.
It's like,
Like,
a tattoo
I get that it's
parlor
like a tattoo parlor, but why?
It's like a tattoo parlor that puts Mandarin on the back of chicks' back right above their buttocks and misspells shit all the time. That's what tattoo parlor is.
No regrets.
That's no regrets. No regrets, bro. No regrets.
It's cool that they got the black
Why
eyed
is it just-
peas to play all the mods here.
Oh my god. Whatever.
Well,
What
Why
he's,
is it just
before-
cheating on the like?
That's
this is a musician.
he's a before. His name is Thundercat.
right?
Oh,
That's who this
Thunder.
was, right? This was a musician. and then-
Most Isley is full of
Huh?
Most Isley is full of scum and villainy, and apparently tattoo parlors where the kids hang out for.
Well, you got to
All
think
right,
about
so
it.
what's the mod
The war
tramp
with the
stamp then?
empire is over, and there's a lot of free things. People opening up businesses, and he opened up a mod shop.
Yeah, but what's the mod move? What's the mod equivalent of either a tramp stamp or like barbed wire tattoo on your
Well,
arm?
it's
This
like
is
an
the-
tattoo.
I
that's-
think whatever that was, it serves no purpose.
you got a Steve Austin bionic ear? Cool.
You know what it
You
is,
know-
though? Did you guys look at what was inside this? So they're pretty much taking apart droids, and just slapping droid parts on people. So, like, if you're a Gronk droid, maybe they put your legs on, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
See,
that's what they're
Yeah,
doing.
take my legs off. I want
you don't
ground
mind-
Well,
legs.
you think about it. All the most of the Star Wars characters are half cyborg and half,
Not Rick James Eric.
you know.
This
Yeah,
guy
but
actually is a
that's like-
musician. That was
Like
his
Luke
music.
got a replacement hand because he needed a hand, not because he just wanted to look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
with
what's
the other
like,
teenagers.
her
And now it's different. It's a different time.
What were the neon lights on the kid gonna do? It was just neon lights. You
I know,
what
I
I'm
thought
a
that was
couple
funny.
years after
know what?
the Empire ended.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Empire's gone,
Yeah.
and
You know what my
everybody's doing
biggest
their own
problem with this was? My biggest problem with this is that it's so out of place. Like, just
The
why is it
techno
in Mos
music.
Eisley?
Yeah,
Like,
if this was in
it would make
Coruscant or
sense.
something like that, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was like a
Techno music threw it off.
1313
I
or
thought that was a little
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, it's straight out of the CW.
Yeah, this doesn't fit.
Like the
That,
music.
it doesn't make sense.
It
When he
was.
walked in, I was like, wait a minute, this doesn't fit Star Wars
No, it
techno
doesn't.
music.
This 100% didn't. And then the whole like, oh, it's so cool. And he's taking off like all the arm gadgets. Whatever, man. Done with the mod.
yeah, we got
It
we
would
got the
fit Star
montage
Wars
for
if they put it
4
somewhere
for the
else, though.
series in the 4th episode.
We didn't even make it. We didn't even make it in here for crying out loud. All right. So that
Yeah.
was dumb. But then they had this little moment of like, okay, this part of the flashback wasn't so bad. They're talking. They explain it back and forth. We get the life debt out of it. He says some stuff. The thing
You know
that I hate is like, do you know who I am? I'm Boba Fett. How many freaking times?
He's like, I'm Groot. He's saying I'm Groot.
I'll get to that
No,
in a minute.
no,
That's
but
where
look,
you
He does that because
dumbest one.
I mean he kind of
I'm
explains
Boba
it.
Fett.
Doesn't he kind of explain in a way, roundabout way, about how whenever Shan asks, "Why don't you just go ask for it?" and he's like, "Well, without my armor, I'm not as persuasive," or something. People are used to Boba Fett wearing the armor, so he's not in his armor yet. So he has to ask
Jedi.
him, "Do you know who I am?" Right?
Jedi. He said
Yeah.
it to a droid.
I'm Boba Fett.
Okay. I mean, I'll give you that one.
Come
That
on,
was
that was-
silly.
a rat
That
catching.
wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
Um,
and he's like
Green.
He explains
flips the
himself.
switch. Oh my gosh.
No, it was a good talk tour that he said that he was with the Tusken Raiders and the Sand People took him in.
I bet you want to
And
pick up Kansas.
she was like, "What happened?" He goes, "The bikers killed him," and she's like, "That doesn't.
no, they
that
didn't.
seems unlikely."
Yeah, I think we all said that last episode. That's
Yeah, so-
everybody likes.
There's a theory on that coming up.
Big surprise. There's a theory on that.
Yeah, but I would be kind of pissed if I was Fennec. You couldn't ride that bantha a little bit longer, get me to do a doctor. I got C-3PO's guts now because you didn't want to take me a little bit further.
Sam,
He
I
should
don't
be
think
so lucky.
I don't think that they could. It's out of place in the whole thing, right? Like it's just out of place.
It is out of place. Yeah.
Like usually those
But we go
doctors-
from the
like
kids.
Dr. Ezra, like the guy that had like in the first
We-
movie had the like I'm out wanted in 13 countries, and you know,
Yeah.
if you ever read the old
That's
comics,
who they should
Oh,
have.
it's one of them 13
What?
systems.
That's who they should have. The droid modifier guy was him, Dr.
Yeah.
Evison.
yeah, that was-
Yeah, so
that was
hang
the
on.
same
So are we going to get a backstory for this mod doctor? Like he was
Maybe.
going to medical school in Mos Eisley, and he's like, you know what? I would rather do my own thing, do my medical work out in the sticks in Mos Espa, and just plug
I don't know if
droid
the-
parts
Is
into
it medical work
Hey,
or
Sam,
is it just some craze?
The old Star Wars.
Hit
would
my
do that.
ride.
The old Star Wars would
I
have
don't know
a
if the
figure. of
University
him.
of Mos Eisley is a
Comic
graduate program. They're like community college.
Yeah, if it was a main planet. No, but like that would have been funny if they brought the real doctor back because he actually has a link to Boba Fett. He has a link to a lot of other things too. But like
It makes sense.
Tatooine, it would have made sense if they did that. Instead, they did the mod squad. I don't think John knows anything about Star. This
I
after
still don't know how that doctor got
I
out of that
don't
city in Tatooine in Rogue One when they blew that shit up.
Yeah, whatever. All
They
right, so
somehow
here we
left.
go.
They knew to leave.
More Banta riding. We got to get that money out of the Banta. And he fed up.
Banta.
Uh,
Everybody's favorite Banta.
yeah, everybody's favorite. So they go
Maybe
sneak
make it
in.
a ride at the Disney park.
I gotta say this: they really do make Shan. As bad as they're doing with the Boba Fett character, they are really killing it with the Shan character.
I like her. I think she's really really good part of the show, and she's definitely a really cool badass.
She is. She's cool. JJ,
I like
Yeah,
it.
could you imagine the show if she
Yeah.
wasn't around? I'm
Oh,
Boba
yeah.
Fett.
I don't want to. Yeah, which is what he says here. He says once again. So 2 times in the first 18 minutes, he says, "I am Boba Fett."
No, you know what made me laugh about this scene?
The stupid
That
Grievous
they have to
thing.
be quiet, and he's knocking pots over, paying.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was funny. You know what? It's hysterical. You know, it makes me laugh. Look, like I said again. Look, I'm the biggest supporter of this show. I love Boba Fett, and I love it, this and that. There are things that I scratch my head about, but you have to laugh about things because it's the way it's done. The way, you know.
You think that's appealing?
Yeah, okay.
To 13-year-olds? I don't know.
So we
All
have Chef Teppanyaki Grievous right here.
Yeah, this is Grievous right here that Shan took out. And then this, the only person that Boba Fett takes out is the teacher droid by saying,
No, but that's a rat
"You know
droid.
who I am."
That's a rat catcher droid.
So what?
Well, no,
I don't-
it was
It's
one
cool,
of the
yeah.
for the Clone Wars. It wasn't. They had another purpose.
Yeah,
They
they
had
had
a purpose, but he also
Forward.
rat cat.
Yeah.
The cat.
Now
Oh,
he's
rat
Actually,
cat.
a lucky droid is the name of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either way, this was kind of a dumb scene too because he goes, "I'm Boba Fett," and then the droid shuts himself off. Like, who
He committed
cares?
suicide.
No, he committed
Another
suicide.
example of what's
No,
supposed
he's
to
alive.
be.
Flipped
He's
himself
back
off.
is later. You see him back later.
Yeah, later on. But
I think
look-
it's supposed to be comedic relief. It doesn't work.
you know,
Yeah,
in Star
Like
Wars,
a lot of the comedic relief
they
in this
try
show.
to do the comedy in Star Wars like they do in Marvel. You can't. Like, what do you think? The Jedi when Poe Dameron was talking to
I thought that was funny when Poe Dameron did that.
with the whole
Hang
phone
on.
call thing.
All they would need to do is add a laugh
Well, that's
track,
fucking
and
hilarious.
it would change everything.
So then we all feel like we're watching Three's Company.
I thought the Poe Dameron thing was hilarious when he did it with Hux. I thought that was
Yeah,
funny.
Hux-
I thought that was
That
right
was
on.
funny, but that
I
there's
thought
no
that's how Star Wars should do humor. Actually, that's how because Star Wars isn't funny like this.
Well, see, Star Wars
Well,
has a
it
different
is-
type of humor.
Well, there's a little bit of a callback to we're all good here. How are you? No, don't come down here. We got
Yeah,
a
that was
big
the Hux thing. Yeah, yeah.
Or-
yeah.
No, what
Yeah.
about
Anyway.
like the Star Wars humor, like in Mandalorian, the first episode in season 2 with the Bantha and the Tusken Raider? They put the
can't pull
Bantha
up
on the
the droid
string
with
for the Krayt Dragon to get, and he goes after the Tusken Raider, and the Bantha's just sitting there. So that's comedy, Star Wars comedy. This is a little bit more.
You're not defending that. I'm sorry. We're not gonna let you do that one, Dom. I am Boba Fett. No.
I am Boba Fett.
It was kind of cool though, like to see Slave
He's
One
not
down
defending
there.
it, though.
You know what I
He's
mean? And then like they actually they made it kind of like you have to get out of here. Even he can't drive it apparently because he was slamming it into the walls.
It's a tight squeeze.
It's a tight fit.
See, funny
And
would
it's-
have been
and it's-
when he started. Funny would have been when he's tried to start the Slave One. If you hear that, like that ignition, but the battery's dead type thing.
Yeah,
Oh, the Han Solo thing.
That would have been
Flooded
funny.
it.
Would have been funny. Fennec Shan gets on board with Boba Fett, and well, she killed a lot of people above this, which was kind of cool. Then they get out of Jabba's palace, and they end up going and okay,
My
we're gonna
favorite
hunt them.
scene.
Yeah, we know this is gonna happen. Yeah, but he just
Yeah,
pressed
just because it puts you in the lead in our game. Yeah, favorite scenes.
No,
it's like,
this-
no, he's
I'm not
probably
talking about that.
Lakers.
Look, this is
You
my
thought
thing.
this
I'm
was
gonna
your
be-
favorite scene?
my favorite scene. He blew away Ruthless, just killing off people. Like, you know why I liked it? Because he didn't have to get out and fight. He's not even fully healed. He destroyed these bastards 1, 2, 3, and that's the way Boba Fett does. No care in the
It
world.
was so. It was so. Like it was the opposite of cathartic. Like it was so frustrating.
It was
Like his vengeance took 20 seconds.
how cool
like,
would it
He
have
was
been? Like,
stuck up behind him.
yeah, he should have gone like, "What's up, boys?" or something. I mean,
They needed to see it coming. You needed to see the oh shit face, and then
Yeah,
It
if
needed
they
to
would have
be
come over like a
cathartic.
hill, his ship comes up, then they all like stop and peel out, and he's in front of them, and then mows them down so they see. Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
I
it's
know,
Boba
but
Fett.
it was really a cool scene. You know, look, everything is short. The
Slave.
TV
Well,
shows-
I like seeing Slave. This is what I will not say that this is the coolest scene, but what I will say is seeing Slave One fly like it did, seeing it use its weapons like it was, and from the inside of Pidcock was definitely a cool portion. I'll give down that. This is not how
Yeah.
this should have played out, but I'll give down that. Besides, these guys were just doing somersaults on the freaking sands. Who knows if they're dead or not? To be honest with you, because all they were doing was rolling around.
It's
It was
cool
really
for style, but it's terrible for story.
Yeah, I would have
Yeah,
loved
Dust-
it if he used his backpack. It like blew one up. He cut off the. Even if you're gonna blow out the whole back end of these guys, then you stop the front two, and you do some Boba Fett stuff. Set him on fire, hit him with a rocket, something.
Dusty Baker's right. This is the time he should have said, "I'm Boba Fett."
Yeah. Then said,
Yeah.
"I am Boba Fett."
put it in the loudspeaker. I am
On
Boba Fett.
Tatooine.
Nah, but hey,
And then this.
Oh,
Whoa,
I have major
Can
problem with
can
this.
I defend the whole thing with the Sarlacc pit
No,
really quick?
No, you
There's
cannot.
no defense of
Can't
it.
defend it. Makes no sense.
Listen, it does make sense.
Why?
When he lost his armor, he slightly had
He
amnesia.
thought he left it inside. He thought he stripped down naked before he
You
flew
know,
climbed
look,
out.
let me tell you something. It was so hot. The acid was burning him so much, it felt like he didn't have armor. Think
Mm,
about it.
really? Because he went back into the fucking.
Well, if he
pit.
felt like he didn't have
Yeah,
armor, then
armor.
would he use to blowtorch his way out then?
I know he got out. Listen, pure instinct. He was in the Starlight for hours. Listen to me out. He was in the Starlight pit for hours, and the acid slowly
Oh,
burned
you
him.
listen to Marco.
He was knocked out. Remember, he hit against the ship hard when he fell into the Starlight. That knocked him out. He was out cold. So that you have to look at the logic behind it.
Yes,
No,
after the
no,
Keystone Cops
no,
moment,
no,
when
I'm
he was
sorry, no,
accidentally knocked into the Sarlacc
Time
pit.
out. Out of everybody, I think I'm the fairest. A lot of times, I will criticize stuff when it's bad and criticize when it's bad. I can live with you saying that.
Can I go?
I can understand how you can see that could.
Can I be the prosecution for the scene?
No, hold on. I can understand how you could try to sell us on the coolness of Slave One blowing up that. I don't agree 100% with you, but I can see that. This, no.
The logic of going back, there was none. I just don't understand.
He didn't know where his armor was. That's why the flashbacks only went up to the part where after he seen
Not knowing where your armor is and being as convinced, like he was dead set. I know where it is. It's inside the
he thought it
Sarlacc.
was inside.
Why?
That was the last place he was.
Even if
couldn't
he,
remember.
even if
He
he thought it was there. Wait, let me say something. Even if he thought it was there, there's a huge problem with the scene. And did anybody else catch it?
The best.
What's his armor made out of?
Beskar.
Well,
Yeah, instead of
He said Beskar.
No, what's Boba Fett's armor made out of?
It's not
Beskar.
Yes, it is.
not made out of Beskar.
It's
which
not
is the problem.
Beskar.
Did you read the comic book?
Why did Boba Fett just say his armor would survive in the pit because it's made of Beskar?
Yeah, if you read the comic book in War of the Bounty Hunter comic, it's Beskar. They retconned his Beskar armor.
Technically both. He's got Durasteel and Beskar in it. The whole
All right, big question.
Well,
But it's got a dent. How does it get a dent in it?
Fall in.
Also, too, if he climbs, then the second half of the scene is completely pointless. If he, as a human being with no armor on, is able to climb down in there and look around and then climb out and just have water poured on him to save him, guess what? Durasteel, Beskar, nothing's going to melt in there. Apparently, a human won't even melt.
Cool.
Yeah, he came out fine.
So one thing that's always bothered me, and I know the answer is going to be it's Star Wars, is yes, he has Beskar armor, but it doesn't cover his entire body. I mean, there are plenty of gaps in that armor for.
Whoa! He's got Beskar briefs on.
Yeah, he got shot in the
Does he have like?
it's not free
Does he have
because
Beskar woven into his skivvies?
Yeah, in Clone Wars they do mention that he does have Durasteel, so it's both in canon. It's Beskar and Durasteel. The problem with it was, in which I thought JJ was getting to, is if that's what protected you, then how are you jumping down a line and water apparently can wash off the acid?
Well,
Which
it's
makes zero sense.
Well, look, it makes Star Wars doesn't make sense to begin with, but
it was just a poor choice, is all it is.
But like I said,
it might have been load up.
Writing and directing.
Need to do this.
Mainly writing.
That's why
People are talking about
scene in. He was on Tatooine. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Marco has talked about this scene before, right? In fact, I will admit Marco was right about this scene from an earlier episode. But this is a very desired scene, right? For him to blow up the. So is that why they had to make it work, just so they could get this scene?
I guess. I mean, they had a fit. It looked very chunky, and that they had to figure even the way he did it because the what's it's called is on the back of his ship. So like they had to make it look like he was turning or something and falling in. And like how it didn't blow up ahead of time, and it didn't make it
fine. He said, I got one more score to settle, and he wanted to go back to the Sarlacc just to kill the Sarlacc because he was in there.
God.
That's one thing.
The worst part. This is how they missed it. Once again, recasting it. Even if you're going to do all this nonsense, at the end, you know what you should have done when the thing blows up, and you didn't do it. Like. There's so many softballs they could have done.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
They did the sound, if that's what you're talking about.
They had the sound effect.
Yeah, they did.
Not like it should have been. Like it should have been.
It was underground. It was a little different.
It was the exact same sound effect they used last time.
Not the one that they used in Clone Wars, though, or wherever it was. Where was the first? Yeah, Clone Wars. When they first I just listened to it right before the middle, and I was like, man, that doesn't sound the exact same, dude.
So did I. It sounded awful similar.
It sounded muffled, but I think it was the same sound.
No, it sounded muffled, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been just like that loud boing. Anyways,
but again, to get to your point about writing, this could have been under a different pretext of why he went back to the Sarlacc pit. It just could have been to get his revenge because he was in, like, he just might have wanted his payback. One more bit of payback before we move on. Fine. He didn't have to say, I'm looking for my armor.
I know. They had to put that story in there because think about it. The question was, why didn't he go up to Cobb in season 2?
The thing, Dom, is that he was actually going back to see if the Sarlacc would join his gang.
Okay, there you go.
You need a try.
So,
all right.
You know, he'd at least had to ask. You know.
So there we go. Then we got
But
the blow up. Then he
I
was
actually
able to
thought
fly
it was a cool touch too with the mouth, the beak that came out. How they brought that back. I like that.
God, that's the worst part that they brought back.
No,
What
that
was
wasn't
once an angry butthole now is
this was the worst part. This is the worst part. Dwayne Scott said it. I literally have 4 paragraphs written about how bad this is, and this is highlighted and underlined. Don't push my buttons. That's the joke. No, there's no saving that. I'm sorry, Dom. That's unfortunate.
That was a clever bit.
There we go. You can apparently look. He put in there. He put on his Bubba's. He put on his Dedo and Bubba's little old Turkish.
He looks like Uncle Fester right there. Is what he looks like.
Terrible.
No, you know what he looks like? He looks like
grandma
Anakin
did
without the
that
helmet on.
Original
was
old
thinking,
Anakin, not Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, not a bad. Yeah, you're kind of right.
All
right,
right, when you expected to see James Earl Jones and you didn't. It's like, oh,
This guy.
So then she's like,
Okay.
back a tank, and then what?
Okay,
the
first
back
off,
to take thing.
this
I
reminds-
have a question about this.
Go ahead.
This is every
Go.
old man at the
I was
gym
gonna say
locker
real
room,
quick.
right? Every old man at
No,
the gym
it's
locker
not
room.
nude.
Yeah,
It's be fully nude to
trying
be the
show
old
you-
man at the gym.
Trying to show you his junk in the locker room. Exactly.
Okay, what's the question, JJ?
So, if he is now fully healed, right? That's what they say. Congratulations,
said.
you're fully healed.
What they said.
It's about to go super.
How
Saiyan.
is he a bigger? How is he a bigger wuss now than he was in all the flashbacks, where he took down a pike train, a bunch of biker gang guys, contingent of stormtroopers? Yeah, apparently he wasn't fully healed. Now he's fully healed, and he's
Whoa.
worse.
Well, now
Oh,
he's
JJ,
fully
hang
healed
on.
and old.
Hold on.
Hang on, JJ. Who took down that train? The only thing he really did was train the Tusken Raiders how to ride the bikes. The Tusken Raiders took down that
Well, he was
train.
running on top of it and throwing guys off and everything.
Yeah, but he's got a point though.
He was
The
there.
warrior woman inside really did a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah. Well, he's
The
He
Book of Boba
intimidated-
Fett.
across the top of the
intimidated
train.
a droid to jump out of the ship and had to figure out how to stop it. That's the biggest thing he did.
Yeah, the Book of Boba Fett is all about how Old Man Fett lets all the ladies do the heavy lifting. That's what's going on here. All the ladies are doing the heavy lifting in this show. In the end, Fennec Shan's going to take his head and she's going to sit on the throne because he's too old to get the job done.
At this point, I hope it happens next episode because I can't see anymore. I'm serious. It's sad. So we go back to Black Hay. We finally get him back. Honestly, I think this makes episode 3 even worse. Even worse because like if they did something like this as episode 3, I think it would have played better. Black Hay sees a bunch of excuse me,
Trandoshans.
Trandoshans. And they're laughing and everything else. And I think going through his head, apparently some people don't know this. So, Dom, can you explain to me why Wookiees don't like Trandoshans? Just
Can I give a theory first?
I went after them for sport.
Hold on, Sam. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think the theory is he's mad because he doesn't know how their knees work. Do they go forward, backwards? What's the deal?
Very good.
Trandoshan knees are a mystery. Still,
Like
still
Max
to be solved.
Rebo's feet, arms.
Sorry, Dom. Go ahead.
No, that's right.
Yeah,
Well,
that's good.
basically, Trandoshans used to hunt Wookiee for sport and used to kill them and enslave them. So they have a history together for a very long time, and they do not like each other. Well, Wookiees do not like them, and
They didn't explain it very well
Well, I think they
to
kind of
normal people. But
They kind of looked over it in episode 1 or no,
Yeah,
episode
when
2. They voiced it
Robert
over.
Rodriguez has that
That's
Trandoshan
right.
brought that Wookiee pelt.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
they did
you know,
that in
but still,
episode 1,
that's-
and then in episode 2, they said like the sleepy Trandoshans who had you like in the pits, which isn't exactly true, but it's just kind of like an insult to them. And I don't think the regular people catched on, but I thought that they were using that as, like I said, it doesn't matter if Rodriguez is doing this or not. It's written so poorly that it doesn't even make sense to the normies. Like,
you
and then
see
to
what they
us-
should do
Still
is
played better though.
Disney should have a history on Star Wars. What they should start doing,
not their slaves, Kev. It was more
having
fun.
things about Star Wars on Disney, since they do Star Wars, to let the normies that don't know everything about Star Wars understand certain
but the
things.
normies are going to watch that.
Yeah, the normies
They don't watch.
Watch that.
Sitting down to be entertained by the show. Don't watch Under the Helmet Book of Boba Fett. Like the Star Wars nerds like us might watch it, but
The Empire
most normal
enslaved the
people aren't going to
Hang on. They could have solved that problem of the Trandoshan history with a single line.
Yeah.
They could have said, hey, look, there's one of the Wookiees. We own those guys. Something like that would have been so simple. And it would have taken very little time, very little money.
Speaks basic.
No. What he's saying is do it in
That's
like
the problem.
Yeah, do it as closed caption or whatever, where it says underneath where it translates.
The Transoceans are like elbowing each other, giggling
they're
amongst
closed
themselves. Like,
caption either.
hey, look at the
Laughing at
Wookiee
him.
over there.
Laughing
Snickering
at
I think
at
they
them.
also
Should have done. Should have done one line with Jennifer Beals' character, just saying it.
Even without
Yeah.
using words, you could have had those Trandoshans have like Wookiee pelts around their shoulder or something, maybe teasing him or
Yeah.
flaunting
Or even
him
like
with them or
Boba
something.
when he had the little, little tails hanging off of
I will
himself.
say it was cool that they finally had a Wookiee rip off an arm. That was cool. Cool. Apparently, all my panel here are big fans of cosplay and what's it called,
It had
furries.
nothing to do with the cosplay. This is just a fantastic dress.
I know.
Twilight, whatever the hell
Beautiful.
inside. It was
You guys are weirdos.
a nice cut.
You're really weirdos. There's the ripped off arm. The eyes were good. I kind of like what they're doing with the Trandoshans. At least we get to see more action out of them. And as Sam says, the Trandoshans now actually have real knees, not backwards knees anymore.
And do you think that's a foreshadowing for Bosk to make an appearance?
No. Ripping off an
And
arm.
I hope so.
I thought
Hey,
it was
on that-
I thought it was a flashback to an arm being ripped off on Tattoo, being lightsabered
Yeah.
off on Tattoo.
But back to the casino scene. Once again, Boba Fett has a lady do his heavy lifting for him. He just stood by while Jennifer Beal took care of things.
Oh, it wasn't his
Supposed to be.
place. It's her place.
Well, why was
That's
he
a
going
place, a business. He was
Right
there admiring her beauty.
He was
That's
just
all he
there out
does,
on a
man.
nighttime walk, and now he's fully healed. Like, I'm gonna go hit up the gambling strip club. Apparently,
He really couldn't get involved because he didn't have Finnick there to cover his ass. So he
Yeah,
had
good
to
point.
stand back.
He has to have a lady. He has to have a lady covering things.
So Black K ends up paying off Flashdance, and then Boba Fett pretty much goes, "I'll hire you because you're a better badass than I am." So here we go.
yeah,
by the way, you should have done last
a good bit
episode.
about the scene though. You got to admit, like she was gonna let him like, all right, we're cool. You just let this guy go, but he ripped his arm off anyway and paid his bill and then left.
This
I
is
thought
why I
that
want to. This is why I want to
Oh.
really tell you guys real quickly here. They've been doing such a bad job with fan service right so far. I hope they don't bring anybody back. I hope they just end this.
You
thing.
wait a minute. Were you
Yeah,
talking about how
hold
great
on.
the fan
I
service
know
was in the first two episodes?
Yes.
It was, but then they did episode 3, and they just like
I know,
everything
I know.
as
No.
a series. Like,
You can't though. It's all the same series, the same
No, no,
writing.
no,
Like,
no,
you can't
no,
say,
no,
well,
that was the
they're doing
start. That was
terrible
the
fan
start.
service.
no, that was the start. It was the start, and they started doing good stuff, and then they kept adding on, and then you're like, oh wait, no, don't let it get out. Like keep us with that.
Don't
little
let one
moment.
episode bad pivot you.
Max,
I'm not saying this is a great episode.
Every freaking episode at this point. You didn't need that. Show them 1 or 2 times. That's it. Now we have them every episode. Like they just do. They're overkilling it. It's like a 5-year-old telling a
This show is
joke.
nonstop fan service from
He keeps
jump.
telling fan happiness. It's not happiness anymore. Now it's fan service. But
Look.
a 5-year-old keeps telling the same joke over and over and over again, and it's not fun anymore. Like it just isn't.
Look, they have to do fan service right.
Unfortunately, better than 3.
They are doing. Eventually, the next 3 episodes should have fan service more to appeal and turn the series
I
around.
don't want
to a
fan
point-
service. I want a goddamn good story.
There's plenty of fan service already.
I think we've gone from fan service, fan happiness, and now maybe we're at fan patronizing, maybe.
Yeah.
'Cause they're
Yes,
just-
I agree. That's what I think, Jedi. Very well put. Very well put. And that's why in 1 and 2 it was good because it was fan happiness there. But then I had also said during those, if you go back and watch those episodes, if they keep it up, they're going to kill it. Like they're going to do a Luke, and they're starting to do the Luke thing. It's like just putting shit there for no reason, man.
Yeah, but a lot of
And-
people liked the Luke. You didn't like it, but a lot of people liked it.
Well, because it was
His nose was
stupid.
weird.
And
the problem is-
Come on, his
stupid.
nose was weird. That Luke's nose was weird. You guys know.
Well, no,
that's true.
he looked like a bad deep fake job. Yeah, but
Now they
My
hired
point
a
was
guy who
fans
does
enjoyed
fake,
it.
Real deep fake.
the point is that season of The Mandalorian had a lot of fan service, but it wasn't constant fan service, and the fan service had a story to it. Here, a lot of the fan service is just MacGuffin that makes no sense.
I agree. At this point, we're 4 through. I agree.
And-
which I
and,
said,
yeah,
we're
the
watching
normal
it for
person
the
just
whole
doesn't
episode. You were
catch
just
it.
pessimistic about this whole thing. Now you're like Dom and saying that every person in the world is going to show up, and when one person shows up, then he's extremely happy because he thinks he got them all right. You're the same way with pessimism. The 1 and 2 at the point where 1 and 2 played out, they were perfectly fine. You're right. 3 took a crap. 4's trying to rebound, but I don't think there's rebounding from 3rd. But that doesn't mean you were right that 1 and 2 were crap. They weren't crap, man. At the time, they were decent.
I didn't even say 1 and 2 were crap. I just didn't think it was.
That's what
it
I'm saying.
had problems.
You said,
that I
"Oh,
didn't
it's going to
think
be
people were acknowledging.
Yeah. Okay. Well, service level manager is good. So then he had the God. Oh my God, how did they screw this shit up?
Because they showed most of it already.
No,
This was of all the bad scenes in this is just pointless. It just nothing comes out of it. It's
Oh my God!
stupid.
Forget it wasn't pointless. This completely neutered Boba Fett. Realistically,
That's true. Too.
realistically, he goes in and tries to
Counterproductive.
gain strength and tries to intimidate them with his rancor underneath. Then all of a sudden, when they don't buy in to help him, he goes, "Well, I'm going to do it anyway." Okay, is this how crime families work?
But
You don't
he
have to
was
take me
saying-
anything, and you're gonna give me protect. All right.
Look, he was saying, listen, just stay neutral if the Pikes come to you to assassinate
That's
you.
not what he was
I know what
asking
he
him
was
for.
saying.
I know he wanted to have him join him, but they didn't want to. So he said, listen,
Yeah. So he
do
failed.
what you have to do, but don't interfere
I know.
in my business against the Pikes. Because at the end, everybody's going to wind up getting rich. You get rid of the
But
Pikes.
he had a live Rancor right underneath him. One little open slot, one chair falls down, Rancor eats. I bet you all the others kind of
Fan
fall in
happiness.
line.
good fan happiness there. And by the way,
Or
Dom,
pulled
they
out a
could have done
gun.
this. Dom, they could have easily done this and asked me if this would have been better. Ask me when, or I'm going to ask you if this would have been better. When the guy says, no, why should we follow you or why shouldn't we kill you? All of a sudden, Bosk, who you brought back, supposed to be this badass, takes a Tradoshan's arm and lops it over their head and smacks right in front of the table. And they go, oh, shit. Well, we'll stay out of it. We promise you we won't do anything, but we need you to actually do this. And that would make more sense.
Or how about this? Let me pitch you this as well.
Oh, hold on.
If they decide not to help him.
Let me ask Dom, would that have made it better? Because this, you can't say this was good. I mean, how
listen,
easy is that?
Look, he could have made it better by the time when he told around and says, listen, why should we follow you? Why do we, what are you going to do if he stop? We'll try to kill you. He should have pulled out a gun and then shot him. He goes, there, boom. And that would have been Boba Fett.
That doesn't sound anything either.
No, that's not even consistent with his character. Dom, what he should have done is cry and go climb in his tub and wait till the next episode to roll around. That would have been totally consistent with everything we've seen so far.
No, I think,
look, he made his offer. If they decided to decline, he could have said, fine, if you don't help me, once I take care of the Pikes by myself, you guys owe me my tributes.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, but not give me, you know what? You're not going to help me anyway. I'll give you all a free pass anyway. Well, how the hell is he making any money? If he doesn't run any of these businesses, he's not collecting any protection money from any of these other crime families. Exactly how is he making money?
Right. Where's all the money coming from? Because Bib Fortuna, apparently, the start of the speech was, you guys didn't respect Bib Fortuna, so you left and never paid him tribute. Which made no sense. Like,
yeah,
that's
not how organized crime works.
That's
We've
a great
all
point. We're
seen
leaving.
crime movies to know that's not how it works.
No, I get it. But Bib Fortuna has been in charge of this crime syndicate for 7 years and has had no tributes paid to him whatsoever in 7 years. But the coffers are full, and he's got Slave One underneath. I don't understand this at all. It's so.
I think the Gamora and Guard guys smuggle or train or what's the word I'm looking, embezzled money from Bib Fortuna, and they're secretly funding his empire.
What, so they could buy themselves shirts?
That's the only.
Oh no, they didn't have those either.
Yeah.
No, they just need green lotion.
I can only assume that when we haven't got to the scene yet, but I can only assume that when Boba says that he has plenty of credits, those credits came from his bounty hunting days, not from being a crime lord.
No, there were some free credit cards he signed when he arrived on Tatooine. You can just sign up right there at the airport.
He got scammed.
You got a free shirt.
In an elder scam.
For everybody to say, okay, you want to hear who
The
was right?
Tuscans were secretly super rich.
You want to know who was right? JJ was right, because JJ said that John tried to write a mob movie before, and he knows nothing about the mob, and he doesn't know how to write it.
Oh
and
shit! You just
Scott,
reminded me of Maid.
I mean, Scott said he's saying the exact same thing. Like, so I mean, that just didn't make sense. You didn't even need to have this episode was better than 3, but when it started, when you thought it was going to turn the corner, it did something like this scene and pulled it right back, man. It's disappointing. Nobody's
you know-
Godfather 3.
Get rid of the Russians, please.
Keep pulling me back.
You know who Boba Fett is? Boba Fett is the substitute teacher you had in high school who started the class by saying, "Hey, I'm the cool teacher. Just remember me. I'm the cool teacher. I'm not going to make you do homework. I'm not going to make you pay tribute. Let's just chill. Let's just everybody just have a good time, okay? And I'll hand
Movie
out
day.
butterscotch
Movie day.
candies at the end."
Oh, that's it. It was just easy. There's just easy misses, is all.
And then Shan comes back she comes back to save him again. Here you go. He goes, well, I don't know. I'm going to need muscle. Got a ton of money. Well, she's going to find you that muscle. So
Why didn't I think of that?
I don't know. But he didn't need any muscle. He told the guys on the table, I don't need you or your money.
Yeah, all he needs are 2 Gamorreans, Fennec Shand, a couple of robots, and he's cool. He doesn't need any income. Or
Don't forget the biker kids.
Look, Fennec Shand and her
mopeds.
robots could handle this whole thing by herself. She could do the whole job by herself.
Yeah, but she keeps telling him how to do things, and he goes, "Nope, do it my way." Like my dad.
I'm gonna go get in the tub. I'll think on it. I'm gonna go get in the tub.
All right. So you guys could give your grades, and I'll be back to give mine in 1 second. But we'll start off with Sam. Sam can tell us what he thinks about it.
Oh,
Out of
man.
10, what do
This
you got?
was out of 10, maybe a 4. 4 out of 10. And I would give it higher if they actually had some more bubbles in the bathtub. I feel like he could benefit from some good soapy suds.
He's got to just not breathe through the nose.
Yeah.
All right, who wants to go next? Anyone?
Dom.
Do we want?
Hey, listen.
I'll go.
Good.
Let Jedi go. I want to save Dom's the higher score for a little bit.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 5, I guess. I think, I would have been okay with this because I think my expectations have lowered to where I'm not expecting the quality that maybe I expected early on in the season. I'll give it a 5. It would have probably gotten a little higher because I enjoyed the episode. I thought it was fun. But as far as story and how it's going to, carry on and lead into other things, I'm still don't know how they're going to do it. I'm still holding on to a little bit of hope that they are just, okie doking us or whatever. I think I would have given it higher had they shortened the whole mod scene and just had him take her there. She's about to die. And then next thing you know, she's waking up and feeling her mechanical guts. I think that's all we needed. And then, that final scene where he was trying to be a godfather, but not really. He was being a nice godfather. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of that.
Nicest
either.
godfather ever.
Those two things, if they had just fixed those 2 things, I think I would have given it maybe a 7 or 8, really. But because they screwed those things up, I'm sitting at about a 5.
So you didn't enjoy the cool techno montage of him installing the parts in Fennec?
Oh,
I did.
Man,
They
they-
could have done without that. I mean, I don't mind the scene, but
Yeah.
we didn't need all the details of it.
Terrible.
yeah. Let's save Dom's high score for a second. I'm going to follow up Jedi because I'm in the same kind of place that he was. I did like this episode. I wanted to grade it higher, but I think I'm still at a 5 because there are just still too many easy problems solved. I mean, this whole started off with him in the bathtub, and we got 35 of the minutes of the entire 50-minute runtime of the flashback. Well, okay, fine. But of that, what was the flashback? It was this crazy mod scene, which was pretty much unnecessary. We didn't really need it. Did it really tell us much? We know he saved Fennec. We know she got robotic parts installed. Do we need to see it? Not really.
And it could have
did we
been
need
a
that
lot
crazy
cooler.
action comedic scene? Probably not. So then we're down to maybe a 5-minute scene of him getting his ship out and maybe a fireside conversation, 10 minutes, but we got 35. It was mostly unnecessary of what they showed. And then we get into the future where he's fully healed. And then what do we get out of the fully healed Boba Fett? I'm going to take a walk down to the happy, Joy Luck Club or whatever, where there's just gambling and dancers, maybe massages in the back. I don't know. I'm going to go take a walk down there, watch Black K rip off some Trandoshan's arms. Then I'm going to go home and we're going to have the most awful Godfather meeting ever where I say, hey, guys, follow me. No, okay, well, I'm going to do the work anyway, and you guys can still be cool. Are we friends? All right. It's like the really, really needy kid on the street who just won't accept that nobody likes him.
Everybody
He's just
be cool. Just be cool.
yeah.
Every scene,
Cool, man.
Easily fixed.
every
Ultimately, nothing happened. Nothing happened. In this episode, nothing progressed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Every key scene that they had in the show could have been done way cooler, and they made choices that made it super lame. Like the biker revenge could have been really cool.
Yes,
Could have given us a really cool look at Boba Fett, but it was the opposite of that.
But even in the underground when they were doing Slave 1, there's the one part where she's she kills about like 6 people, right? Okay, then move it on. Don't do it again. She didn't have to kill another 6 people. Like,
yeah, it was
like it just kept adding.
It was just poorly bad together.
Sorry, go ahead. Who else has got to go?
JJ
and Dom.
Yeah. Well, so real quickly to expand on what Sam said about the biker gang revenge part 2. Yeah, that was also horrible too, because at the beginning of the episode, Finnick throws cold water on the whole idea that it could even be them. With the line that, I highly doubt that biker gang could have taken out the Tuskens.
Mm-hmm.
So now we don't even know who actually killed the Tuskens. We just the biker gang gets blown away without any explanation or even semblance of vengeance. So yeah, that was really bad. But I don't know, 4.5. Because I think I gave 3 a 3.5 or 4. I don't remember. So this was slightly better, but it's still below average.
You didn't think this was much better than okay. All right, Dom, what do you got for us?
It's still below average. I mean, if 5 is average, I got to give it lower than that.
I guess, but okay, go ahead.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 because a lot of things were solved in the episode because he's finished in the bantha tank. He's fully healed now. Now he can start putting the pieces more into place to get going. Look,
Yeah, he can go fight Frieza.
wait, at the end of that, the talking to Fennec Shan about the possibilities, that they need a tribe because you can't go places without a tribe, and he's putting that, and it shows you the time block on where that series is going to, because the Mandalorian took place 5 years after Return of the Jedi, so it's 5 years after he fell into the Sarlacc. So you find out that he's been with the Tuskens for over 4 years, and a year he's been roaming, trying to make amends and trying to see what's going on. And he's playing a good guy because he's putting pieces in place. Everybody's going to be very surprised when he goes batshit crazy and barbaric and everybody starts taking people.
Can I just say, whenever that droid, this is what I wanted to see. When that droid, when he got out of the back to tank and that droid says you're fully healed, I wanted him to say, yeah, and just shoot that droid right there, cold blood. And I would have been like, damn, he is back. Dom was right. This mother is back. He don't give a F. But it didn't happen, Dom.
Or bit that guy's head off, right? Yeah.
He's fully indoctrinated into the Tusken.
Look,
Namaste.
And the Tusken Raiders are peaceful. Look, it's like when you go into a tribe, it's peaceful a lot of times. You get to learn more meditation. You're more at peace with yourself. Boba Fett has gone through the total transformation of being a child, seeing his father get killed in front of him, growing up with bounty hunters, becoming a warrior, a bounty hunter, and now he's turning into something bigger and better. Look, do you actually think that his plan is to become crime lord? No. There's other possibilities of what he's going to be planning on to do in the future. And
he literally said my plan is to be a crime lord.
Objection. Objection. He wants to be a crime lord. He said he wants to be a crime lord.
He did.
Yes, he wants to be a crime lord, but there's going to be other things.
He's not even a crime lord.
Start noticing that he's going to wind up wanting to become.
That's not how crime lords work.
Right.
Well, you know what?
You're right. This is more like he's trying to set up a retirement home.
I don't know. Exactly. I mean, this is the shame. No, this is the shame part of it, though. Like, I'm not a killer anymore. I'm just a traveling guy. He ends up in the house and he has to kill a bunch of people. I see what Dom's trying to get at it. The problem with it is, okay, what did you give it? An 8 out of 10?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. All right. So
Dinner theater on the weekends. Yeah, thanks, Joe. That's exactly right.
the problem with it is, and I liked it better the first time. Then I thought about it, and then I watched it again, and I was like, wow, it does not seem like they're editing this. It seems like they're rough cutting it and then letting it go out. If they would have edited, and this is where I'm going to give it to JJ and something Pete had been saying, you could have made this 6 episodes in totality, because you could have at this point cut out a whole episode. You do the flashbacks, like they said, in one portion. Now, some of the flashbacks have been very good. In this one, I would say about 50% of the flashback was really good, and 50% of it should have been cut out. The mod scene could have been shortened, cut out. You don't need this guy. You don't need the one wandering around for no reason. You know, and then the putting it in the montage where I know the guy who was doing the surgery is a musician from what I hear, and that was his music. So that was supposed to be some fan happiness, but
who gives a shit?
Okay, I get Pete, I get it. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying that I'm not paying a Disney Plus fee to see some goddamn DJ show up on the show. That's not why I'm paying.
Pete, I get it. That's what I'm saying. You didn't let me finish. But that stuff could be cut out. You could have cut that out. So then you cut that stuff out. Look, tighten up the episode a lot. You don't need the 10-minute banter rides anymore. I know you paid a shit ton for the bantas. Like you really, I think
they're still off with the bantas going for that whole West thing.
Okay, look, as it went around,
is gone. There's no more banter. He let it go to make babies someplace. Look, this is my thing. If you really look deep into the episode,
I don't need you guys to defend about how good it is or how bad it is. I just
why do you keep reminding me of bad shit out of that? Go make babies.
People always look at the bad shit and not look at the good shit. There is definitely a lot of good stuff.
I was literally going. You guys don't let me finish. Well, as soon as I start saying, yeah, you could just edit that part out, it'd be better. And Pete's going like, yeah, you should get rid of that fucking part because they'll make it. Yes. And then you go, well, you're not looking at the good thing. Yes, I am. I'm saying there's good stuff and bad stuff there. And there is. And that's what I'm saying. If they would have shortened and tightened it up, if they looked like they would have edited it a little cleaner, made this a little bit more sense, cut out some of the stuff that really does not play well, and actually cut out most of 3. If you would have cut out, now I'm lowering my score on 3 now to a 0.5. Hold on, Sam, because if you would have taken 0.5 of 3, if you would have taken 0.5 of 3, and then taken out 5 out of this and added the 2 together, it would have been really solid. I think it really would have been solid. So I had this at 6 going in and watching it, and then after thinking about it, I reduced it to 5 because 50% of the shit in this episode, cut it out. Just clip it, cut it out because you didn't need it. You could have cut the table scene down. Table scene was something like 7 minutes and 23, some shit like that. It should have been 4 minutes. The section should have been 4 minutes. You throw the thing on there. You say, if you guys aren't with me, sit back, but I'm coming for you after when I'm done. And you actually threaten them and you make them look bad. You keep saying that he's going to turn into a badass. Sure, but it's called Book of Fett. We're supposed to see Fett be a badass. And at this point, is where I told everybody when it doesn't happen by 4, if they don't cut the backup scenes that they've been doing by 4 is the last time I want to see this shit, then it's going to start turning and the grades are going to start getting lower. And guess what? They don't have, and there's no more curve here. If he's the substitute teacher that's everybody's best fucking friend, you better start grading hard because if not, he's fucking fired. And so's the rest of this goddamn show.
Oh, that's a really nice Vespa you got there.
Yeah,
did you build this yourself?
I'm trying.
We're going to say this in the next episode.
I really am trying to be positive, and it's the positive parts, but it really is like dragging down where you're like, man, you show us something cool, which they did. They showed us some cool parts, and the very next scene, they just erase it. They erase the coolness of it, and it's dragging, man. Like it's dragging.
Look,
I want to say something in the fact that even though I don't think it works, I don't know. There's always going to be a contingent that they'll never make happy and a contingent that will like it in all of Star Wars from here on out, no matter what you do. So, and that's fine. People can like something and dislike something all the same. But point being, okay, look at Force Awakens. Again, the criticism was this is a rehash. We don't like this rehash. We've seen this movie before and A New Hope, et cetera, et cetera. So then they go and they do something different in Last Jedi. And that was like the worst thing ever to a lot of people. But before that, the rehash was the worst thing ever. Here, they're doing something incredibly different. I don't think it's working, but if some people do think it's working, more power to them.
Look,
All right, I wanted to respond to Ruben's comment. He says, "Pete, Disney Plus wants a younger audience."
I was going to do that. I was going to respond to that too. Yep.
And I would say Jake and the Neverland Pirates is way more entertaining than Book of Boba Fett.
I don't think I would like to find somebody, because I've been talking to some Utes about this too, because but I talked to all kinds of people. I talked to everybody to try to see. But I talked to some Utes at the LCS, some guys that are in their 20s. Oh, by the way, one of them is a tattoo artist. He's a tattoo artist at a tattoo place. He finds this shit dumb too. He's like, I don't understand it, and he's a Star Wars fan. He's a Ute because he's like half my age, but still, and he's a tattoo artist. And you guys have told me oh, well, the mod thing is because it's like a tattoo parlor. No, those, when the dudes are in their 20s and they're in 20, okay, he's mid 20s, probably 20. Yeah, he's still a youth.
The mod thing is what a tattoo parlor is to lame old guys like me who's never gotten a tattoo.
Yes, saying this right here, saying they're trying to appeal by that type of stuff to the youths. It ain't it, man. The youths don't care. That's not a trend. It's old dudes like us trying to appeal to the youths. So no, that's not a good excuse.
I do have a question.
And I know Dom has blind faith. I know he has blind faith, and I understand that. And we're not trying to rag on him because of it.
Hey, and if they pull a 180 in the last 3 episodes, dude, I'll be the first one to admit that they did it. But so far, I'm not a fan of Tub Wars.
Tub Wars. 2 Utes, maybe 3 Utes.
Hey, at least we have some question on the mod.
I do have 2 more things, but JJ, go ahead.
I was gonna say I had a question on the mod things, and I don't know much about my history of the mod movement and all that, because I do know it was a thing, especially in the 60s and 70s, I think. But I also know it was bigger in Europe, and I know we have some people that watch our show in the UK and stuff. And I kind of want to know does something like that play better to a European fan base of Star Wars than it does to us?
Like Pogs.
I don't know.
Ruben's Pogs.
Like what?
Yeah, leftovers Aggie.
I don't know.
Pogs.
So I'm curious if that happens. So if you're a UK fan and you're watching this, or anywhere in Europe and you're watching this, let us know whether that is a bigger thing in Europe than it is here that I just don't get. But
yeah,
Zaggy, I said Tub Wars, not Tupperware. Tub Wars.
My problem is this. Again, I like this episode better than the last episode, and I enjoyed the first 2 episodes. I said there were minor problems with the first 2 episodes pacing and the balance of flashback to current. I get it. If they had given us this story chronologically and gave us all flashbacks to start, it might make sense from a story perspective, but I bet you a lot of people wouldn't tune in for episode 2. They probably lost. If we had all flashback to start, a lot of people probably would have been like, "What the hell is this? I don't want to watch this."
Look,
Sam, I actually would like to hold on real quickly. Sam, I'd actually like to find this out. I don't know how you could do it as extra credit research with with the Utes that you teach, but if you could somehow put some extra credit, hey, you guys watching Book of Fett and rate it on a scale from 1 to 10.
I don't know how you're going to do that either.
I don't know how you're going to do it, but we used to have
don't get fired for it.
The mark. They just missed the mark with what they were going for. They just did not handle it well. And surprisingly, as bad as the direction was in episode 3, I'm now joining Marco with the writing problem. This is now a writing problem because the way they're telling the story is shit.
Not just that, it's an executive producer problem.
Makes no sense from any perspective that I can fathom. It doesn't make sense what he's doing.
Which is where I see Dom's point.
Story perspective logic, and we didn't even get the mods. Which I'm worried about. We didn't get Rancor riding in this episode, which again I'm worried about.
Which I get
in this episode. We had revenge against the biker gang, kill the Sarlacc pit, steal Boba Fett's ship, and have Godfather meeting. 4 things that should have been easy layups to give me an awesome episode, and they messed it up to a point where it's eh. It's just eh. That's what I'm worried about.
Something really quick.
Go
ahead.
Look. When the trailer of the Book of Boba Fett came on, we seen the mod kids, and everybody was talking about who's the girl and who's the guy on the bike. No one said, "Oh, the bike's a shiny," or "What the hell is that?" in the trailer until we had the episode and people started making fun of it.
It didn't really show
in the trailer. It showed in the trailer. You've seen it in the trailer.
No, it was like a half second in the you didn't get a good look at what you were looking at in the trailer.
But it was there. And
wait, before you continue, Just going
No,
on.
Pete,
Even if it was
stop. Let him go. Let him go.
Let him go. Let him go, Pete.
Let him go, Pete.
there, trailer. We didn't get the story. The story of them being street kids is dumb.
Pete, I want to hear where he's going with this. Let him go.
Go ahead.
I'm
Fine.
going.
So the trailer had those things, and a lot of people were very excited to see what was going to happen. Oh my God, the Book of Boba Fett. Even though they didn't show a lot in it, people were excited, going, wow. And they all showed all the scenes in all the episodes that we've seen. All 4 episodes, those scenes were on the trailer, and people thought the shit was cool. They were like, oh wow, this is badass.
And that's what I'm saying is mishandled.
Episodes came on, and then people started dropping and having like negative
Okay, but here's the deal. Like, if you have a DJ that has one leg, as long as he's playing cool music, you don't care about the fact that he only has one leg. But once he starts playing bad music, you're like, why does he only have one leg? Right? That's what's going on here. Like, the bikes are cool.
I think it's a two-part problem.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. That might be some of it, Sam. I think it's a two-part problem because of something Dom said. There's a lot of people guessing who was going to be on those bikes. Okay, that us, if you watch the show, we said, who you think that ain't Boba's daughter?
Not Boba's daughter.
That ain't his rape baby. That is nobody. That's a brand new character. Both those characters are brand new. We've been saying that since day one. So I understand that some people are going to be upset because I just say what his adopted daughter. It wasn't her. Like, I understand what Dom's saying, that some people will be like that. Some people will be disappointed because of that. But I don't think that's fair.
I don't even think it's that either.
I don't think that's fair because we're telling you that that's not something we would have seen. And I appreciate that. I see there are parts where you're going. When you saw the bike thing and Pete had said this, and I remember he goes, that's so cool because of the skin end and it looks like they're going to do something. And you got on top of it, Dom, and you're like, yeah, dude, did you see it was sideways and blah, blah, blah. And it was crazy. That's not what they showed us, though. They teased us that in the trailer, and then they gave us the world's slowest.
Yep.
It's not about them being mods. It's not about the bright colors of the bikes. I don't give a shit about. That's what I can't. That's why I think like the rhetoric gets on a little bit about it. But this was the problem. The problem wasn't that they have bright color bikes or they took off the mod style. I don't give a shit how many rear view mirrors there was. The problem was that whatever Pete keeps showing us, that's what it was. The problem is they aren't delivering on what they promised. And they promised.
I know. And can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
All right. The Mandalorian took away a lot of the lore for Boba Fett. What Boba Fett could have been, the Mandalorian came in and they made the Mandalorian. So a lot of the mystique of a man in armor going around like a Western, and the Mandalorian's badass. But you're going to have the Book of Boba Fett the same way Mandalorian went. People will be complaining that the Book of Boba Fett is too much like the Mandalorian. So they try to do something different. And all right, it's not appealing to a lot of fans out there. And look, and everybody has their own objective on what they want to, what they want, like the show. They don't like the show. But the problem was the Mandalorian messed up what Boba Fett could have really been.
I don't think it did, though. I mean, I get what you're saying. In a way, it could have, but at the same time, Mandalorian still was softened by the addition of Grogu with the child. It did soften. So then you had a change of a gunslinger, bounty hunter, now becoming soft and going into that fatherhood kind of vibe. They didn't need to do Dances with Wolves then with Boba Fett. That was their choice. They could have still given us hardcore, tough as nails Boba Fett, who needs to get his armor back. Now he's got his armor back. Now he kills Bib Fortuna and becomes a crime lord. That seems like a tough story. They didn't give us a tough story.
Pete,
they again gave us the same story as Mando, which is old gunfighter, now kind of softening up because he learned some sort of life lesson and is now going to try to like humanize the crime world by becoming nice guy.
Sam,
there's nothing.
Go ahead.
There's nothing wrong with a Dances with Wolves backstory. There's nothing wrong with that.
I hate.
It's just the way that they're doing it. Right? It's the way that they're doing that sucks. And they can go ahead and take that Dances with Wolves part and make it into The Godfather. They could have done that easily. We all fan wrote this story 2 episodes ago, how it should have gone. And what they have produced is not better than what we have produced in our mind about what it should have been. There's an easy way to make that. And maybe they'll stick the landing. Maybe they will stick the landing. But they're not doing it right now. Right now, it's just they're fumbling on the pommel horse.
Dom, I want your story. I want the story you're waiting for. I just don't think they're giving it to us.
Some of it. I don't want every person
your
coming in and the last thing and what. But this is the one thing I'm going to say. Black K, how he was done. The worst part about it, this is what I see for the worst part about it. We'll move on. That Black K scene and how they did it. They're showing us they could do it. They're choosing not to do it. Skipping
you're still more down on the Black K scene than I am. I thought Black K scene did help a lot.
This episode of Black K is the epitome. This episode and what they did with Black K in this episode is the epitome of the show going wrong, because it was good, but it was tied in between two very bad parts, and the previous episode was bad.
So take previous episode out of it.
Yeah, well, either way, it's like just still a great scene, and then they let it die off. They let the momentum of that scene die after that. All right, let's get into what
I know, because you were hoping for the arm throw onto the table. But outside of that, I still think the scene worked for what it was for Black K.
I know, not even that though. But the next scene after that slowed down. It like
slowed down. But I'm just saying from a Black K perspective, what he delivered us, what they gave us of Black K in this episode on its own. I was happy to have. That's why I got a 5, and we're not talking about me giving this.
I like Black K. I think Black K is going to be a great, a new Wookiee in the Star Wars lore, and I like the direction where he is going to go if they do him right.
Cool. We have to move on, or we're going to miss Dom's new section, and we're going to. Oh, I almost kicked myself out here, and we're going to miss the other new part, which is. We're going to do ranking of 10, I guess. Let's rank 10. No, Dom, let's get Dom.
We're doing Dom's thing first.
Just Dom, you ready? Sorry.
Let's do it.
You need a break. Are you ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right. Let me get the background. Pete, how do I get
it? I got it.
Okay, there we go. Get rid of the rest of us, please. Get Dom. All right. So, Dom, since Dom is the master, Dom, could you please help us out? Maybe look into your crystal ball or your holocron, and please tell us what's going to happen. All right, please. Pete, where the hell is this thing? Sorry, this is my fault.
All right.
Sound effects.
Please tell us who's going to show up in episode 5.
Okay. It is telling me that episode 5 will have Mando appearing, but towards the end, he will make his way to Tatooine to help Fett and company. But it's a little unclear if he's coming alone. He might have a couple of friends with him, but it's not telling me. It's a might be situation. But he's definitely showing up toward the end of the episode. But the episode is also saying a certain bounty hunter will be mentioned and possibly cameoed. Cad Bane.
Ooh. I was hoping he said boss.
Now, Cad Bane, because this episode is going to be directed by Bryce Howard, and it's going to be a Fennec Shan episode. So she has history with Cad Bane. And, well, it says rumor has it that Cad Bane is part of the reason the Tuskens died. So we'll see if that comes true. Anything else?
No. I just okay. All right. No, that's good. That's good for 5. So can you tell us? I think that's probably not going to happen, especially the Cad Bane part. But could you tell us what's going to happen during the Dave episode? The Dave episode, please.
It is the Dave's episode is definitely Cad Bane is going to be in that episode to fight Fennec Shan, and Boba Fett's going to find out that he's still alive. Because Boba Fett has no clue that he's alive. Because back in the Clone Wars, when he shot him in the head, he thought he was dead. He is going to be very surprised that he's alive, and he's going to find out he's the one that took down the tribe. And he's going to go, and Boba Fett's going to want to go after him. So there's 2 reasons. Fennec Shan has history, and of course Boba Fett has history. and it's going to cause a little tension because Boba Fett's going to want to go after him, and that's how he's going to find out about Omega.
Omega?
Omega's there. Oh my god! Except for didn't Fennec Shan run into Cad Bane in Bad Batch?
Yep.
That was after Clone Wars, right?
That's the history we're referring to.
It's the timeline after Clone Wars, right? So they know he's alive already. Okay. Here we go. Oh no! I got a better one for this. Look, this will happen by the end of the season. All right. Look, tell us what it is.
All right. The big reveal at the end of the season is that the war is going to be beginning, and Mando is going to have a bunch of Mandalorians come down to Tatooine to help fight the Pikes. It's going to be the same type of scene in episode 3 of the first season on when he fought Grief Karga and the bounty hunters.
As Vizsla?
Yep. They're all going to come and help him. And you're going to have a bunch of Mandalorians helping Boba Fett and company fight the Pikes and whatever bounty hunters are there. And that's how that's how Boba Fett takes over Tatooine. And
cool.
There is also something foreshadowing after that whole thing is said and done.
What's foreshadowing?
Boba Fett gets the idea, if you could have a tribe like that, why don't I go for the Darksaber? And Boba Fett's going to want to start ruling Mandalore. There you go. That's what it's told me.
That's good stuff. I guess. That also leads us into what we're going to do in our next segment, which is rank, because Dom just said that the whole cast for Mandalore is coming by the end of the season. So that led us into, we didn't actually know that, but we've predicted that because people have kind of been saying that. The only thing I don't buy with just to put this little buzz in the ear, if nobody knew Cad Bane was alive, then how did he show up in Bad Batch? Because she knew who he was. Fennec Shand did, which would mean
she didn't know who he was really, to a point where he showed up that he was hired to kidnap Omega, and then she was hired to save Omega, and that's how she found out Cad Bane. She didn't know that Cad Bane, because he has the middle plate. She don't know that Boba Fett had the showdown with him. So and she don't know Omega is Boba Fett's sister. So we're gonna find that out later.
Yeah, but Boba Fett
sounds like it's smoking death sticks.
Okay, but Boba Fett would have known that he was alive because Cad Bane is a hireable bounty hunter. Yes, Jedi, go ahead, please.
I can't. Hey, what he said makes a lot of sense, man. I don't think any of it's going to happen. Well, some of it might. My question is, why didn't you take the price tag off your Holocron, your magic Holocron?
Hey, don't give him a hard time.
How much?
Your price tag still. It's still got the price tag on it.
Where?
Oh, don't give it.
No,
All
it's
right.
not.
Oh, you made you look. That's good stuff. I don't see it happening for a couple reasons, but let's rank these men. I mean, first off, that they're gonna. Okay, let's just bring in the top. Let's rank the top 10 Mando characters and a couple bounty hunters that might actually show up. And I don't think we put Cad Bane in there because we figured.
No, we did not.
I don't know.
You may think he could show up on the side of Boba Fett. I mean, he will do about anything for money.
You would.
And Fennec Shand knows how dangerous he is. So if you want to hire a bounty hunter, you could hire him too. Doesn't have to be fighting him.
The Pikes are going to hire him. I think the Pikes hired him to be with the bike gang to take down the Tusken Raiders.
The dead bike gang?
That rumor started because of the animatronics. That was the Dave Filoni show when they did the animatronics. If we all remember this, Cad Bane there was a bounty to kill off the Sand People, and he took Boba with there and used Boba Fett as a decoy, as like a bait. And then after that, they went to the square, and that's where Cad Bane challenged Boba Fett, a younger Boba Fett, to a fight. And Boss said, "We'll stand back and chill because we won't interfere. Go ahead, Boba." And then Cad Bane shot at Boba Fett, and that's where he got the dent in the helmet, and that's where Cad Bane got the plate. That's what it's referred to. That's why people are saying, or that's why the rumor is that.
Well,
doesn't we get Imbo?
Oh, no, Imbo was there too. Yeah, Imbo was there too. But that's why the theory is that Cad Bane somehow killed all the Tusken Raiders, but Cad Bane didn't kill all the Tusken Raiders in that scene that they're talking about anyways. It was Embo, Bosk,
This is something I do not want to see.
Well, there was an episode that he took Boba Fett on his wing and they killed some Tusken Raiders. So there was a
No. That's not an episode. That's the animatronic.
No, the animatronics, but it's canon. It's canon, and that's the problem. That's why people, all these things that are happening, it's canon.
It's dumb. It's not canon. It's the animatronic. It never showed.
It became canon. It never showed, but it became canon.
No. I think we're don't think of the actual animatronic of what was shown is how it played out. The idea of what happened in that is canon. Yes, he got shot in the head. That part is canon. But how
what happened? The dead in the helmet and the other guy getting a shot is canon. But that part where he uses Boba Fett as bait is not canon. That's not, because that was the animatronic. That was what the story they were going to try to pitch was, that they never produced. Because I'll explain it like this. Another part that was animatronic was the girls, right? They weren't girls that they showed in the last season of Clone Wars, and it wasn't on that level. It was a dude, and it turned out to not be. They changed the storyline around. So that maybe that's an easier way.
You're saying animatronics. Is that the actual word for it?
Yeah, it's animatics.
What is it? Animatics. Okay, thank you. I was like, animatronics is robots. I don't understand.
Animatronics is welcome to the Hall of Presidents.
I always say it wrong. What's his name? Mike always gives me a hard time about it. But yeah, so whatever I was saying, the pre-thing, the previs, that it was previs for Clone Wars is animatic. So it's a previs.
It's the rough cut, basically.
You can watch it, but once again, Cad Bane. The misconception is that Cad Bane, even in the previs for that, took out the Tusken Raiders, and he didn't. It was a whole group of bounty hunters that had done that. All right, let's rank these real quickly because it's getting the time's going.
I just got to go back to Dwayne Scott's comment. I do not want to see Tamora Morrison in a wig as Omega. Not something I want.
I mean, how many people though? I just want to say, with all the people you said were going to show up, how's that going? How are they going to do that? They're literally bringing over the entire Mandalorian show, and half the Bad Batch is going to show up.
No,
I thought the Mandalorian show was the Bad Batch.
He's just going to mention. Nobody said the Bad Batch is coming.
Omega's not coming in.
No, Omega's not coming. Her name is going to be mentioned. He's going to find out that he had, because he doesn't know. That's the thing. And Fennec Shan doesn't know that. Look, the only person that knows that Boba Fett was Alpha and Omega was the sister of Boba Fett was when Tech was talking to Omega in the episode.
All right.
They don't know.
Let's try to rank these characters on likelihood. Now, I added a couple characters in here too because we know who's directing this, and there's a couple other things she's directed before. And if you saw what they've done before with some of these directors, they will bring characters back from episodes of stuff they directed before. So a couple of these characters, that's why they're in here. And if you know what is the redhead kid that played Opie's name again?
Ron Howard.
Ron Howard's
well, that's Ron Howard. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yeah, what's her name? Bryce Howard had done before.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
She had done both the.
She was conceived in Dallas.
Oh, really? Are you kidding me?
That's the main part.
Really? Oh, that's awesome. That's not awesome. The two that she had directed before was the Seven Samurai scene, which had Cara Dune in it, and then she also did the Migs Mayfield scene too. Just so you know, those are the two that she has done. The Migs Mayfield, which was a really good episode where him and Mando were in the Imperial outpost, was kind of cool. All right, but we'll go through it. So likelihood that, because these people are all going to show up, let's just go with likelihood that the armorer is going to show up. Where would you put this one in a 1 to 10 setting?
10.
Low.
She's
not a bounty hunter.
No,
but they're all showing all.
Our story arc is going to continue in season 3, but put her 10.
Okay. Chat, everyone
she has no ties to Boba Fett. She's not gonna. It makes no sense.
No ties to Boba Fett, but ties to Mandalore.
They said that
she's not gonna go fight for a crime lord that has nothing to do with her cause or her people.
No, but she ain't coming to Mandalore. She ain't coming to fight with Boba.
But you said all the Mandalorians that are left. That's one of the Mandalorians that are left.
I'm talking about the Mandalorians that look. It's a year. Mando is now the wielder of the Darksaber. He's gonna bring Mandos that he found. They're going to come back, a lot of the Mandos, and you're going to have a big scene like a Navarro.
All right, previs law.
story first. That's my worry about the Mando.
Oz of Pre-Fizzla coming back. This is
Wait,
John.
where are we putting her?
10. Put her at 10. We put her at 10. Nobody said anything else. Definitely 10. Definitely 10.
I don't even know if she's 10. There's a few here that I'm.
Oh, well, we'll put her at 10 for right
I don't
now.
think she's going to end up 10 either.
That's all right. Where are we putting Pre-Vizsla? Yep. Or Pre-Vizsla. That's because he said
I'd put him at 10.
Yeah, pass.
But
No,
yeah,
somebody
I would
Pre-Vizsla
put him at
in
10.
the chat. I was like 3. Yeah. Well, pass. You're gonna put. You don't think John would show up on his own program? What Mandalorians is he gonna bring with him then from the show Mandalore?
Yeah, not the John. It makes no sense for him to show up.
I agree, but
sense.
That's not what. Dom, where do you think he's going? He's a likelihood of him showing up.
Like him, put him on 6.
9.
Yeah,
this is what I think is going to happen. By the way, this is all I'm at number 1. He knows where I'm going with this. This is 9, 8, 7, 9.9, 9. Put him at 9. Okay, 9 it is.
All right, go 9. I still think he does have a better shot in armor.
I don't think he's 9 because I think this is a 10.
No, Grief Cogger's coming because he's going to be for bounty hunters. He knows all the bounty hunters. He's the friggin' the bounty hunter.
I think you have to consider too. They don't have to be there participating in any battles to make an appearance in the show. You could have him as an appearance, getting all these, handling the money or fielding the call from Fennec. You could have the warrior.
Plus, he's on planet, right?
Already.
Yeah.
The weapons makers. It could just be like a quick shot of her making the weapons for the Mandalorian.
He's on Navarro, by the way, where the only characters that are on Navarro is the armor. That's the only character on Navarro.
Well, we don't know.
But can we make a quick point of clarification that you're talking about bounty hunters and you're talking about mercenaries? They're not the same thing. Like
he's
his
the head
job
of the bounty hunter
is to hunt and find people, not to fight wars and defend outposts and just be.
No, but if you give money,
money
talks.
Top 3. 4,
he is definitely going to be there because he's going to wind up talking to Fennec Shand about getting people. He knows people. He's the head of the bounty hunter.
I wish I could open a book on this. Just take that.
All right, one more quick thing before we do this. Even if he does show up, does it matter all that much? Are you afraid of Grief Karga? Like, is he helping? Oh, I didn't think we were going to pull this one out, but thank God Carl Weathers was there to help us get through this fight.
Luke, we didn't even put Luke in here because it would just be too much. I think it's looking like between 5 and 7. So where are we going with this guy?
6.
6 it is. Okay.
Did they ever mention in Mandalorian who hired Fennec when she was going after Mando?
She was meeting up with somebody.
Or just
she's also being hunted. No, they didn't.
Yeah.
Just
my question is, could he have been the one that put
on the disc
the hire on?
Because it was he would get the discs though, so they had to be coming from.
I just wonder if there's more of a connection there than we're thinking about.
Maybe
is what I'm trying to say.
I would remember they were using the discs though. I think it was through the disc system.
Yeah.
So
little pucks.
Yeah, I think it was like so.
Yeah.
She could have given her the puck, but somebody else could have given her the puck too. So this one maybe has a little bit more weight because Freetown is just down the street because it's now called, what's it called? It's not Freetown anymore, is it?
It's called Vance.
I think it is Freetown.
Freetown.
I think they changed the name of it.
Did they change it after? I thought they changed it to Freetown.
It was
wrong about it. Maybe I got mixed up.
I think it after Freetown, then
old Raylan Givensburg.
I think he's over there.
He has a whole lot of. I mean, I know he's been one of the characters that Dom has talked about throughout the entire season. I just can't see him being involved because he cares about his little town where he's the sheriff. So unless it shows some sort of threat to that town, I can't see him being involved.
Well, think about it. If the Pikes take over, they're going to wind up taking over everything. And he's a friend now with Mando. So Mando will definitely call on him too. Remember, Mando has connections.
At least, but Mando's not the one. Fennec's reaching out, but at least he is on the planet.
Yeah. True, but I just think if that's the case, they better draw a line somehow, even if it's quick, that he feels his little town is threatened somehow. Because if they just say, "Well, he's on Tatooine and he knows Mando," that's super thin.
No, the Pikes are taking over Tatooine, the planet. Tatooine's not a city, so they're taking over the planet. So then, yes, Freetown would be back into a point where like.
Well, no, they're taking over most Espa, right? Not
Mos Espa.
all of
But if they
Tatooine.
take
I
over
think
Mos
they were.
Espa-
I think they were referring that they were going to take over all of Tatooine because Jabba didn't just have Mos Espa; he actually had power over Tatooine. Because because with the Water Wars, he was like, oh, that shit happened in Mos Eisley. So,
Well,
I'll put it this way: I put him higher on the list just because there's the Boba Fett connection, obviously that they know each other, and then he's on the planet. So to me, he's got to be at least. I don't know who else we got coming on the list entirely, but he's got to be at least a 4 or 5.
Yeah, he's on the planet.
Gotta be the
Boba
top
Fett
half.
doesn't know
Everybody
him.
has been 5. A lot of people
believe
have
Boba Fett
three.
doesn't know him.
4, 7. So
They
5
have
is-
Starship.
Yeah, he
Why do
does.
they have
How
to
did he
be
get
on
his
the
armor?
planet?
He never knew he had the armor. Remember?
Oh, that's
when
true. He
was-
got it from Mando. Yeah, you're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
So it's Mando.
They showed up together though. They did show up.
Are we
together.
good at
All right.
5 for now?
Yeah,
We're
so
gonna
good
have
at
to move.
5 for now. All right, our man Hager. The only reason this is 'cause, like, he could be on the planet. We don't know where he is. He's not good muscle, but he's muscle. And he has history Boba Fett.
I don't know who else is on this list, but he's number 1.
No,
Absolutely
What?
happening. This is a definite happening.
I don't want to see him. As much as I like Dengar, I can't have Marco get those points.
No, I think
hates this guy.
no. This guy helped him. This is why I think he
Simon
is.
Pegg. Simon
I
Pegg
think-
has been hinting at some.
I think if you think
It's
Cobb
a crime
Vanth
to put this guy on any list lower than first place.
I think if you think Cobb Vanth has a shot, then this guy has the
don't.
similar shot because of where he is.
I don't think Cobb Vanth has a shot.
Yeah, but
It makes
How
why
old
would it make
is-
no sense for Cobb Vanth, Jedi? Like you want to put Grief Karga as one, like that makes no
No, I
sense. Why
didn't.
they have him?
It's
Well,
not
wherever-
that long when you think about it. This is 5 years after Jedi. I mean, he showed up in Empire. So what are
Well,
we
in the
really talking
novels, he showed up. No, in the novels, he was in Freetown. So
I just think if he's going to be in
I know,
there,
I know.
I
I'm
want
just
to see them demonstrate. They need to communicate the threat that they feel the Pikes are to his little town. He is not the savior of Tatooine. He is the sheriff of his little
But he's a friend of Mando now.
stop sign town.
But
So
we didn't
show me
put
that
Mando
and
on
I'm
this
good.
list yet, so we don't know if Mando's coming.
wait, where are we
I'll
putting him?
take that as a given.
4, 7.
I put him at
4, 2.
7 sounds better to me.
I think he's at 6, and you move Grief Karga down. To be honest with you,
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Well, you know what?
But what makes you think they're going to use a totally new character that hasn't been
I
introduced
don't
in any
think they're
show
going to
versus
use
a
any
character
of
they've
the
already
other
introduced?
characters. I don't think. I think Cobb Vanth's the only one.
Character.
I really
Because
do.
Disney, these are Disney-made characters. If you see
Dengar's
Disney
not new.
introduce these characters, they want to bring these characters in the fold.
They want to sell action figures.
Exactly.
They want to sell a 6-inch Black Series Dengar is what they want.
Yeah, they haven't had a lot of good Dengar.
Remember, Boba Fett went to Dengar's wedding.
No worries.
Reese Karga's already been a peg warmer. They're not going to do that again.
Yeah, they're not doing that again. He was not a hit. I'm just going backwards on this. Okay, Mando.
Number 1.
Probably 1.
1.
Yeah.
Hey,
One.
most
It
most
doesn't make
peg
sense
low.
to me, but
Most peg.
I don't
low.
necessarily like the
I'll say
idea,
one.
but I think it's 1.
Wait, what did you say about him, Marco?
So Freetown is now most peg low. Peg low.
Oh, okay.
Actually, it's
Oh,
not
okay.
like the Podunk city. They recanonized it as an actual like the third major city on the planet of Tatooine. So it's not a.
I don't like it here because it doesn't make sense to me. Like story, like when we left them at
Actually,
Mando's,
we have- yeah.
he had something to do. Are we saying that's done?
But what
now?
about this?
I think
What about
Cobb
this
Vanth-
series has made sense story
I think Cobb Vanth should be one. He has the most likelihood. Once again, I think he's one. Cobb Vanth. I think Mando is probably at 6. So you move everybody else down.
No.
To be honest with you.
Got to go with the people, though, Marco. They're saying number 1.
Yeah, are we
Yeah,
also
people
are we
choose it.
grading off of what we would want or what we think they will
No,
actually?
people really think this is going to show
I'm grading
up.
on what I think.
They think that's why I have Cobb Vanth as 1. I think Cobb Vanth's coming. And I think the noise, by the way, the guy who did the music for this was the same guy that did the music for Mando. And number 2, when everybody said that it was the Crimson Dawn sound, guess who never showed up? The Crimson
yet.
Dawn. I think the likelihood of 2 things is the likelihood of Cobb Vanth showing up because they don't show a major character, and number 2, Mando's not going to show up. Is that Cobb Vanth could, if they're going to use the music for a teaser, it would be for Cobb Vanth. But Whatever. Somehow
that's
he's
not
being
what-
off where he is.
When
He's
they play a
way tall.
teaser music, that's not, you don't relate it to Cobb Vanth.
He was part of the show. I mean, yeah, but did you? Oh, you did to.
Yeah,
I understand, but lots of
Time
characters.
out. You did the Fennec Shan. So you did the Fennec Shan because that's how they used it earlier in the episode. They didn't show you Mando early in the episode.
Yeah.
They used the exact same notes, the exact same length, and you saw a dead Fennec Shan. So
No sticks.
no.
But then why wouldn't other characters on the list be just as high?
It's supposed to be Mando people intuition?
As where you're putting Vance? Like,
I think
because Vance is already on Tatooine. Is that what happened?
Yeah, Vance.
All right, hey, we can't even finish this argument until we know all the other players
I
on the
know.
field.
Oh, I don't know why Axe is by himself. We should have had Cad Bane there. I wanted to go with all three.
Yeah, I thought they were all together.
Bo-Katan, Reeves, and Axe, but for some reason we had to have Axe Wolf by himself.
Because he's not a night owl.
All three. Put them at 3.
Put these two
I
at
mean,
3.
if Mando's coming back, so are these ladies. So you might
You
as well
told
put
me
them
put
at
these
2.
two together, and then Axe was
I
on the
saw-
list
I
as
saw
well.
three.
I didn't
Put
make
Axe
the
at 3
initial
too.
list, so I didn't
Put
put him with
these
him.
two. Where are we putting these two?
2.
3.
2 or 3?
Hmm.
2,
I'd
3.
say
Don't
3.
they have work to do? This is my question about.
No, apparently
That's what I'm saying. These two have to come back because they're all a package deal. This, Mando's the burger and they're the fries and the drink.
Yeah, but what
And
is
then
going
you
to
get
Mando?
Axe as the
This is another
toy.
planet. They got time.
The
This is
Happy
how
Meal,
we-
man. You got to bring them all
Mando
back. That's the
is
Happy
the
Meal.
wielder of the Darksaber. They go where he goes.
This Dom, what you're saying though
That's-
makes
yeah.
no sense.
She doesn't follow. She wants it.
It makes no. Why would you even have a third episode of Mandalorian, the show Mandalorian, which the guy right there we have at number 1 is going to be on, but fuck it, we're just putting in Book of Fett. Makes no sense.
Because it's crossing over. It's all in the same world.
But it doesn't make sense story wise why he would be helping Boba Fett at this point.
Or how he
Why?
got off.
He had a
Because
natural
Boba
trait
Fett
of,
helped him with
you
the
go
child.
do your thing, we're gonna do our thing.
Boba Fett helped him with the child.
Okay. Well,
But Boba Fett's
So,
not the one making
you guys
the
are all
call.
thinking.
Dude, all three of
Wait.
these folks come in the same Happy Meal. You can't
Put 'em in-
get rid. You can't
Go
have
ahead,
Mando
JJ.
without. the
Yeah, but
others.
nobody cares about Axe. Axe didn't even make an appearance in the last episode of the second
He was on
season.
business.
Why I think he might show up. This is the kind of thing they will do.
Yeah,
What else
true.
is this guy doing?
But supposedly he's going to be in season 3. But so here's why I think they're 2, or actually I'm putting more 3. Is what Marco said at the beginning, which was characters that appeared
Yes.
under one director tend to appear under another director.
Under
They
the same-
appeared
Mhm.
under the director that's directing episode 5 was Bryce Dallas Howard. That's who the first person who brought her to a live action screen.
That's why
was
I
her.
think she's above Mando. I think there's a more likelihood of this
Who
group
are we
showing
doing?
up.
Are we doing Axe or are we doing the Night Owl?
We're
That's
doing
why I'm
Night Owl.
saying that
I thought they were
Mando
all one,
showing
but
up
it
at the
doesn't.
end
They're all
of the
one.
I
episode.
separated them out because I still think
They're all one
Axe-
now. Axe and all of them are all one.
Mando's showing up at the end and might bring friends. Bringing Bo-Katan,
Yep, I get
Costa
it.
Reeves, and Wolf.
Yeah, the Holocron did say that.
But they're not really
I forget.
friends. They're rivals for the Darksaber.
Not anymore.
But now they are, but not yet. She's gonna be obeying
Not yet.
Mando. She's gonna be anybody who wields a Darksaber. They have to follow command. She's gonna go where
See.
Mando goes. It's
But she wants the Darksaber.
I'm of
He
the
just
opposite
wants to
opinion.
give it to her.
she does. No,
I love the
she
opposite
doesn't.
opinion where you guys are trying
just
to think
accept
in
it
a-
from him. They have to battle to the death.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. They're at an impasse of she wants something that he
But-
doesn't want, and he wants to
Not
give
really.
it away.
And
Like,
that's
it-
where I told you.
So
With the
threw
Holocron
that
told me.
theory out the window. Here, just take it.
But Dom, this is my problem. We don't have resolution to that yet. Why are they going to show up on this show before we
Because
get that
they're
resolution
gonna help
in
Mando.
season 3?
They're gonna
The
help
show's
Mando.
called the Book
You're
of Boba
all
Fett,
bringing
not
up great points.
Mando. All right, put them at 3 for right now. Put all 3 at 3. I don't know how.
Then we're going to have an empty spot because I have them separate.
Then put Axe
I
at
get-
2.
put X
I
at
can
4.
plug them up, but
2 is for somebody else.
That works so great. They
Now
look so
we're
good.
running short.
We're not letting go.
It does look
We already heard Dom's list. It's going to be so correct, and I'm going to reshuffle this, and then maybe we'll make a bet on whose list is more likely to happen because this. Okay, here we go. Then we're going to put this should be number 1. Or
That's
2.
my one.
Oh yeah. Oh
Number
yeah.
4.
2.
You,
4.
Dom, she directed
I know.
this character.
I know.
Mentioned,
Listen,
week not. He's probably coming back.
the top 5 is most likely to come in. Number 2 is saved for somebody else.
No, they're not bringing in. No, there's no way
Ooh.
they're bringing in 18 people, dude. There's no way. This is number 1. If not, I call foul on this whole list.
Number 1 is Bo-Katan
This is
and
not.
Top Reeve. That's number 1 with Mando.
I thought Mando was number 1.
No,
They
Mando's
all can't
number
be in
1.
one spot.
But
They all can't
come
sit in the
together.
same seat.
They're all coming together.
Joe
mean,
Burr
just
is
on the
he
bus.
can sport a
That's
really
what
great
we-
bald head.
Yeah.
And this show is all about bald heads. He's also really great at being a
He doesn't
cranky
need
old man,
Chris.
just
I
like
love Bill Burr.
Boba
I
Fett.
love Bill Burr.
I think we should have done this ranking first and then done the predictions by Dom afterwards.
Where are we putting Migs?
2.
I think he's 1, but
2.
Miggs is one. Miggs is 1.
2.
Wrong. Okay, if your team only scored points because you were lucky enough that Boba Fett blew up a bunch of people at this point and you've gotten everything else wrong, we're not taking that vote. Okay, it can't be number 8.
I didn't say 8. I said 4.
No.
Talking about Justin and Obi the
About-
Gray.
Justin.
Okay, pack deal. We can't have it. Yeah, pack deal. Everybody and their brother. Okay. Why is the time?
One left. There's one left.
Yeah. Why would Miggs come? This is perfectly here. I'll tell you, Jones, why Miggs would come. 2 things. One, they said they would hire muscles. He's not, and everybody thinks he's a sharpshooter. He's not an assassin because I heard that, like, well, they wouldn't have 2 assassins. He's technically not. He's like what are the guy, a gunny type character. So he would be the muscle they would need. And number 2,
my system
Howard-
just closed out. Sorry, I popped out for a second.
it's fine. Howard used him. That was one of the best parts about him was the scene in Mando with him, and Howard had used it. So that's why it makes sense for Miggs to show
No,
up.
I got it. I'll put it back up.
It's not. He's not technically a sniper. He's technically just a sharpshooter.
This. I got
Mayfield
it.
2, Mayfield 2. Mayfield owns Boba. Nothing. Yep, but he will get exactly. Remember, she didn't say we're going to
Money.
Oh,
None of these people owe him.
People, we can buy muscle. They'd say buy bounty hunters. Literally said
Yeah,
buy
she didn't say
muscle.
call in favors.
Not in the definition. This is the only guy who makes sense because he has nothing fucking else to do. He literally has no fucking thing else to do.
He's
Nothing else.
not the only one that doesn't make sense. There's one
No.
more that still makes sense
Look,
to me.
he will help Mando because Mando set him free.
All right, who's the
It's not about
last one on this
it's
list?
like she said, it's about money.
I know.
It's hired muscle.
Oh,
That's why
yeah,
this
here
is
we
my number 2. Mig's number 1. This is my number 2.
Old
Unless I hope
backwards
for those extra
knees.
points.
The original backwards knees.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think this is number
The
1.
original
right
Doctor Who suit.
I can't. I'm not even gonna say anything because I got no. What's the point of talking or making any common sense at this point?
You can try.
We can't because for some reason we have Mando at number 1 who has 0 reason to come here. 0. We have got Grief Karga at 7. 0 reasons to show up.
Wait, I'm missing somebody.
Yeah, because we combined.
No,
it.
you put
Yeah.
X in 3.
No, even up outside of that, I'm still missing somebody.
Hey, we'll put Cad Bane in
Cad
there. We'll
Bane.
get Cad Bane.
You're not
Cad
missing
Bane.
anybody.
No. I didn't. I didn't make a Cad Bane slide.
You're not missing it. This is 10. This is 10 slides. You just haven't placed Bosk yet.
The bot, yeah, we did.
Oh, okay.
Bosk, you're right. Ruben's right. We heard Bosk's theme music. You're 100% right.
He's
I
my
think
2.
this is your new number 1 right here. This is new number 1 right here. We've already seen Trandoshans with the wrong knees. This guy's got to come set him straight.
We could put him in number 1. We could put him in number 1 if we move Mando to 8.
No.
Okay, you know what? Good trade. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Not 4, 8.
no, not 4, 8. Well, no, because we're gonna have to put Cad Bane someplace. Just wait till we
We're not
mention
putting Cad Bane on this list. There's no Cad Bane.
the
Cad
Blake's
Bane can stay in my house.
because they played the music. Disney cross promote. Dustin,
Just
Fine,
put him
here.
at 4 and
this
call it a
part
day.
where they play
Nope,
the music.
that's it.
And
Axe is getting his own seat.
Jesus Christ, I think there's more of a likelihood that Boss shows up than Mando.
Oh, see you later, Pete. Had a good night. Thanks.
Pete just dropped out. Oops.
Burr
Didn't like
moves
her choice.
1. No way. Mando will show up for sure. Mando is coming because they played the music, but they played the music and Shan showed up. I mean, like they played the music for the Crimson Reign, or for Kira.
Nobody really has a reason to show up. There's nobody that has a reason to show up in this show. As I think everybody's thinking of it too much story wise. Of like, why would they be there? Nothing makes sense story wise in the show so far, anyways, for the most part. So why would we start making sense now?
I mean, if that's true, then yeah, you're right. Then I think you should. Then Bosk will be 1, Mando will be 2, because that makes no sense whatsoever. And then the child will show up at one point. Where'd Dom go?
I'm here.
Who got knocked out?
I'm right here.
Dom's there.
Oh, there.
Everybody's here, man.
He's right there. He's behind the live timer.
He'll show up.
Can't see him.
You know who's missing is the ranking sheet. That's the only thing missing.
Yeah. Cad wants the bounty on Fennec, and that's why he's showing up.
I think Pete's frozen.
I think
Pete, you're frozen. Yeah. That's what happened. Okay.
We put up a stuck image of himself there.
Nice stock image of Pete.
To trick our cameras.
Well, you gotta understand that Bryce Howard loves to do strong women type of shows, and that's why it's going to be a Fennec show. Fennec is going to go out looking, and that's why Cad Bane is going to be.
I don't know what's going on.
Is going to show up. Is going to be mentioned and possibly
He cloned himself.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on.
We heard your rumor report already. What I'm saying is, in the real world, a lot of times how this works is, and it happened in Mando, they got to bring characters in that they had done before and that they had shot before, and a lot of them had crossovers with them.
Yep.
That's what they always do, and I would assume that stays. But yeah, I know Valance too. I get it. Like everybody under the sun. I think.
Yeah, I know. But where are we putting Bosk before I get kicked out of here again?
Put him. I don't know.
1.
6 because I like him better than Dengar.
Yeah, he's better than Dengar. Put him
He's better than Dengar, but he's better than everybody else in this list, apart from Miggs Mayfield.
Maybe even 5.
He has no reason showing up.
He's better than Axe, but
why would he show up?
Bosk, because we've seen Trandoshans, they're higher in muscle. It's fan happiness, fan service by bringing an old character back. Why not?
And he has history with Boba.
Tom, do you think every character on this list is showing up?
I think no. My thing is that Meg's.
No. I just asked the question. No, do you think every character that's on this list is showing up?
No.
Which is it less than 2 characters that are not showing up?
Yeah, about 3 characters that aren't showing up.
Which 3?
The Armorer, Dengar, and you know what? I definitely, because we have a missing spot over here, because that's the 8. Grief Cog is definitely showing up.
Okay. But I didn't ask who it was. I said who's not. Anybody or no?
I think 2. 2 people aren't showing up.
All right, fair enough. All right, let's move it on, and we'll see how many we got wrong next week, which is a lot. All right.
It is a lot.
That's going to be a lot.
All of them. It will probably be none of the people we mentioned.
Yeah, there's not a single person that we mentioned. Biggs, I think Biggs is the best shot of
Toro can somehow survived being shot and will show up.
Who will? Yeah, Cara Dune's got a better
Toro
shot.
Calican, the guy that
some of those people on that list.
Yeah.
A recast Cara Dune?
No, the Cara Dune has a better shot showing up than a lot of the people on that list. All right.
I'd love to see Pete go on that show.
Yeah. What do we have left?
And you got the book.
Fantasy
novel.
High Republic.
I don't even know how heavy.
Fantasy and novel.
My head's just exploded at this point. Okay, what do we have for Jedi fantasy updates? Pete Jedi, let's get it going.
I have to run it, but I'm probably going to get kicked out of here again because my the window keeps closing.
There was no A slot, I guess, because we combined stuff because we couldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You guys combined Axe. I kept them out separate because you had them listed separate. I said, "Is this cool?" Yep. So that's why Axe was separate.
I think we axed that segment real quick. Oh,
maybe. But I asked you.
Turned into the rumor report. That's so bad.
Just the list. Yep. All right. And I ran with the list as it was written. Axe was on his own.
I'm anxious to see how badly I did this week.
It's just my computer is just not agreeing with me right now.
Okay. Jedi, do you have written down what we got going on here for the fantasy update?
Well, yes.
I got it.
Yeah. That's why I think it's. Oh, I don't think all of them. I think there is a higher likelihood of people that are on the planet to show up than people not.
We got it.
All right, here we go.
Don't get kicked out again.
Why include CAD? There's no Omega. I mean, come on, guys.
All right.
Not sure.
So, with our updates, number 5.
Number 5 with 0 points, but you're not alone this week. So still with a total of 3 is Rule of 2.
Number 4.
At number 4 with 0 points, dropping all the way from the summit of number 1 with a total of 8 for the season is 6 million translations for Let the Wookiee Win. Bad week for the Wookiee and my favorite guy. Knights of Rena had 2 points.
We scored.
They had show ups from the Garza and the guards. No guards died, so he has a total of 7. Is that right?
It's all right. When Bosk shows up, we'll make up those points. Don't worry, Justin.
Number 2 with 23. Total of 23 points. 16 points this episode. Could not believe how many kills. Couldn't even enjoy the rest of the episode that Fennec had in that one scene. I think she had 12 kills in that one scene. 16 points, but not quite enough at 23 for the season. Because the Lords of Mandalore had 22 points to bring their total up to 24. From the cellar to the throne is Dom and Darth, I think, right? With Lords of Mandalore.
I don't understand how you got either on the last.
How did they both get point?
How did what both gets point?
They both got points because they were both on the ship? Is that what it is?
No.
She had 12.
Fennec had 12 points.
She had 12 kills in the hangar.
Fennec had 12 kills.
Oh.
Out of the hangar.
Up 4, and then she curled the Sarlacc. That's still 15, not. I don't know.
Not 16?
12.
Yeah.
She had 1.
You get a point for showing up for your characters as well.
Well, no, you're also forgetting you had BK also. Don't forget BK.
Yeah, so I got 2, but he didn't kill anybody.
Yeah, he did. I gave him a kill. It was a judgment call because when he squashed that guy, I gave that a kill. I've given kills for less, so I gave that a kill.
How did we get 22 on this?
Fennec had 16 because she had 12 kills. I'm sorry, you had a total of 16. Fennec had 14 showing up. She had 12 kills in the hangar bay at Jabba's, and then she killed the Sarlacc. That was her that killed the Sarlacc.
Yeah.
So that's 14, and BK had a point for showing up and a point for kill.
How do we get 22 on this one?
Wait a minute.
Biker gang.
Yeah, but the biker gang was only 14 people.
Wait a minute. Go back one slide.
There was people in the back seat.
I counted the people in the back seat.
Okay, so there were people in the back seat. So there were 20 bikers. In one of these you're not going to like probably, but I'm counting it. So he had a point for showing up. He had 20 bikers that he killed. I went back and he killed them. I know there were some people wanting to say, well, Shan was in the ship too. It's true, she was. She wasn't doing anything. She was sitting there, not doing anything. The narrative indicated, as well as the camera work, that it was Boba who did all the shooting, all the kills. And this is the one I'm giving him a point for. There was a flashback where he shot Bib. They did a flashback of his shooting scene where he shot Bib Fortuna off the throne. That's the point.
No, yeah, I'm debating the amount of people who were on the.
There were 20. I looked at that so many times. Most of those speeder bikes were doubled up, had 2 people on them. I think there was only like 3, maybe 4 that didn't.
Holy Jesus!
And if I can read it to you.
Goddamn computer.
Boba, this is the audio description. Boba sneers down from the cockpit while he.
Oh no, yeah. I know.
The Nikto game.
It was the chat that was asking about the double pointing, not the.
Oh yeah, there were 2. Most of those shots, if you go back and look, and I went frame by frame as best I could. Most of those speeder bikes had 2 people on them. 2 of the Nikto.
JJ, did we get a kill for the droid? Yeah. Do we get? We're not getting kills for. I don't think we get kills for
Kills
droids.
droids are not alive. You can't kill them.
Okay. All right.
What if they flip a switch on their chest? Does that count?
They would've killed
After they
themselves,
scream
but
at them
no.
what their name is.
So who's in last place?
JJ is in last place.
We do have we're gonna have the novel review and kind of an update on who's alive during the High Republic after this, just so everybody knows.
So I don't know, Pete. Do you have the whole? Are you done?
Oh,
You're
you
down.
can't do anything with it. Yeah.
Okay.
He's like, okay.
They're
So
doing charades.
yeah. So who? So he's got to drop Boba Fett. Who's in
Yeah,
last?
I don't know if you guys can hear me, but my computer's just all nothing. I can't see shit.
We can do this easily. Who's in last place?
Right now, last place is
JJ.
We just told you
JJ.
that.
Are we taking Boba Fett, JJ?
Well, first of all, yeah.
Sure.
So
Do I get points if he rides a Rancor and kills somebody?
Yeah.
That should be worth triple.
So yeah,
points.
so I've given that some thought. If he is riding the Rancor and is in control of the Rancor, and the Rancor kills or steps on somebody, I'm going to give the point to Boba Fett.
Yeah, it's like a ship.
Yeah, it's like a ship pulling a trigger, in my opinion.
Yes. I
Okay.
guess I'll take him.
Who's next after that?
Who are you dropping to take him?
Oh, Transdotions.
Obi wants to know
Okay,
if there's
so-
bonus points if a character says their own name.
That's the case. Boba Fett would have like
Yeah,
20
Boba
extra
Fett would
points
be,
this
like,
week.
killing
Yeah,
it right now.
right now.
Okay,
Because he
so
is the-
I'm in second to last place. I'm in fourth place, and I'm going to sound like a complete hypocrite because, Wookie and I, Wookie Sam and I, we were like, we're going to have to scratch. We're basically starting from scratch because I don't think we're going to see any more Tusken Warrior, and I think Machete was kind of a dream that he might. I don't think may not even be in it anymore. So we're going to drop Machete first.
What? They're selling
And I'm going to sound like a complete hypocrite, but I'm going to pick up Cobb Vance.
Okay.
After I just went on and on about how I don't think he's going to be in it.
Can you talk? Can we hear you?
I have like no access to anything working.
That's
I can
fine.
kind of see you occasionally, but I can't.
Are you picking anybody up?
Yeah.
Are you dropping anybody?
I'm pen and inking it.
Not based off of what has happened as of yet.
Okay. And then
So
we're not.
we reserve the right to
staying
go
with
again
Gamorrean guards
after
and
everybody
Garza.
finishes.
You're staying with Gamorrean guards and Garza, right?
For now, yes.
Okay.
as
Next
the only team,
is
as the only team that's never going to need Boba Fett because we'll still win it all. I am pass. Yeah, I got you.
yeah.
We're
You
gonna
got,
pass.
you got a great lineup. I wouldn't mess with it.
It's game over.
Dom, you are going to have to pick up somebody
Dom's
to
up
fill
here.
in your empty Boba Fett slot.
Let me see. Hold on.
I agree. I think the Russians hacked Pete. Think the Russians hacked Pete?
It was actually me. Riveting stuff, guys.
Yeah, I know. I don't know.
Yeah.
What are we doing
You ever
here?
read those stories about the bands going out to do their concert and then all the power goes out and they have to resort to like card tricks and stuff to entertain the audience? Yeah, here we are.
They can't just play music on regular instruments.
Of course not.
Oh, Dom's. I see him blinking. All right. Well,
All right, Dom, we need something.
All right. I'm going to go with the female Tusken warrior. You didn't see her die.
I didn't either, but okay.
I know. All right. What do we start at the end again? JJ, do you
So
want to
we're
move
back
anybody?
yeah, we're back with JJ.
Okay. I don't care. No. I'm fine.
Okay. Well, actually, a little
I didn't even
moment
do this.
of clarification. Dom, you can't have the Tusken Warrior because she's still on my roster. I didn't drop her.
Oh, you didn't drop her.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Let's rewind. I dropped
Oh.
Machete.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, who did Dom drop? He dropped Boba Fett because he had Boba Fett because he had the least amount of points the week before. So he got the. Who did Dom drop?
You know what? I'm going to take Grief.
Grief Karga.
Yeah.
Bold.
Don't even know how to
Gotta go
spell that,
bold.
but okay.
Gotta go.
Okay. Now I'm going to drop the Tusken Warrior.
And who are you going to pick up?
I am going to pick up Mig.
You're going to pick up Mig.
Yep.
Oh, wait a minute. What? You hypocrite.
You hypocrite.
All right.
I'm a
That's a good pick because it's a double bonus because he's going to kill somebody. Pete, so your option is JJ. You said you still don't want anybody, right? Pete,
No.
Yeah, your option is: do you want the warrior? Do you want the female Tusken warrior?
No.
Okay. Is there anybody you want?
Out of just who got picked up? Did I miss?
Wait, the female Tusken Warrior. Jedi has her.
He just dropped him.
I just dropped her.
Back
Now he just
you
dropped
pick
her.
him up in a minute.
Second pass.
Grief Karga got picked up, and
Migs Mayfield.
Mayo got dropped, and Migs Mayfield got picked up.
No, I'm good.
Ah.
For now, for this week, we're good. And also, I have no full access to the StreamYard because Firefox is what screwed me. That's why
Sweet.
I was having trouble.
So I'm pretty sure Marco's staying pat unless he's really going to throw a surprise at us all. So now, Dom, do you still want the warrior?
Let me see. Now I'm staying with Mando. I'm going to stay.
You're going to stay with Grief and Mando.
And I'm going to stay. Yeah.
Well, you've got a huge lead, so I guess
It's
it
gonna
doesn't
be-
matter.
Yeah,
Not
no, he's
over
only got a
Marco.
1-point lead over Marco.
Lead over the best team that's out there that hasn't had to use bubble before. So
Okay, well, if nobody else has any
Jedi,
changes-
after raking, I would just like to add to everybody here, after knocking what I was saying about Freetown and Migs, Jedi then proceeded that when the money is on the line to go and take the two characters I said should have been 1 and 2.
Well, I
would just
considered
reiterate.
several things. I considered several things. Like, first of all, Wookie and I, we didn't know what to do. I mean, we were screwed. And then I'm like, well, hey, Marco looks like he knows what he's doing. Let's listen to him. So,
Well, the chat and everybody here pretty much did it on that last segment. So fair enough. All right, there we go. On to next week. Yes, and Eric, by the way. Eric does a lot of the work. I just don't care that much.
yeah, I know, Eric.
He does all the work for me.
I can't. We don't have the thing up. Is Bo-Katan on anyone's roster?
No. You want her?
You can do midweek trade if you need to. You can hit us up then. All right, let's get this last.
now. Now's the time.
No, it's almost. Let's get this last part in so that we. Do you guys want to do the review on the book? Or do you just want to cut it out and we'll do something?
Well, I can't do.
And
the
I'm
trivia.
assuming nobody wants any. Nobody wants to wager any.
I don't know who everybody has.
wager.
What's the wager again?
I don't know who everybody.
You have to wager a death in the next episode against a character that is on somebody's roster. It cannot be a non-specific character like the Grimorians or the Owls or whatever. It has to be a specific character.
Can't say the Pikes are
And
going to
if
die.
you win, you get 10 points. If you lose, you get a -5.
I don't think half the people on your guys' rosters are going to show up.
What are you talking about? My roster, they're on the show.
I can't believe
They don't kill anybody, but they're both on the show.
All right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know who everybody has.
Yeah. Well,
I've
I
got the
can tell you
Gamorrean
everybody
guards
has.
and Jennifer Beals.
So I now have Mig and
I can't
Cobb
wager on the
Vance.
Megorian guard.
No. You can wager on Mig or Cobb Vance for me. You can wager on Garza for Pete. You can wager on Finnick or Black Cave for Marco and Eric. You can wager on Boba or Biker Girl for that's your
Myself.
own team. And then you can wager on Grief or
We're thinking about cutting it out anyway.
Den for
And put it as a solo piece.
Most of those people aren't even on the show, so no, I guess not. I don't know.
okay.
I wouldn't make
Let's
any
move on then.
death wagers on Boba as long as he's got his bathtub.
All right. All right. So we decided to do something a little bit different with, and by the way, it's spoiler alert. Pete, no, you can't do anything.
I can't. I'm like shut out of everything.
So we can't do trivia either if Pete's down.
Nope.
Yeah, if you want to give me a second, I can try to bring up.
No, I don't want to crash the whole.
You want to do pickups? Maybe get pickups out of the way.
Oh, I don't want to do pick. No, I want to just get the review done.
Doesn't want to get through after 3 hours.
I don't even know where spoiler is. Spoiler alert. We're gonna cover the novel finally.
It's like the fourth video down.
Yeah. How many of us got done? Me, JJ, and Jedi, right? We're gonna do it a little bit different of way. We're going to go through who to try to track who in the High Republic is still around. Do we think we should still do this, JJ, or what do you think?
It's up to you. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. We are either making date. We are either
We can.
Our home run or getting okay. So we're going to cover it really quickly. The book was what was the book?
The Fallen Star.
Fallen Star.
Okay,
By
Star Wars
Claudia
Republic
Gray.
Fallen Star. This was the last one out of Gray. It was the last main novel. I think it's like an all-age novel. It did, if you ordered from out of print, instead of giving you a grocery bag like they did last time, this time they gave you a very appropriate winter hat with a beanie if you live in anywhere up here. So it's pretty cool. Looked pretty good. What's the middle picture? What is the middle picture?
That's just the Noto picture they used for promo on it.
Oh, cool.
Until Noto did the artwork there.
So kind of excited. They did actually advance it. Like it's further along than the comic books are at this point. Go ahead, JJ.
Yeah, there is a. If you buy the Barnes and Nobles version, there is a poster of that Phil Noto artwork in there.
Oh yeah,
that's also why I put it up there.
Mm-hmm. Yes, RIP your profile pic. We'll talk about it a little bit. So here we go. These are the overviews. JJ, if you would.
Yep. So as Jedi mentioned, authored by Claudia Gray, came out about a couple weeks ago, January 4th, 2022. If you read it on book form, it is Del Rey's the publisher. Penguin and Random House Audio is the audiobook. Comes out to about 368 pages if you're reading it, or if you go at the standard set speed, I think it's 13 hours and 29 minutes listening. Mark Thompson, who does several Star Wars books, and in my opinion is a pretty good narrator, is the narrator for the audiobook. And it's already on the New York Times bestseller list. So after only a week or two.
I will debate Mark Thompson is good, and I will say you can also get it done in 8 hours. 42 minutes if you do that.
You can speed it up. It's read at a pretty slow pace on the normal thing. But,
okay.
Yeah.
So
I don't.
Go ahead.
Do we just want to spoil it out the gate, or do you want to give an overview of the story?
You can give an overview of the story, but we just spoiled it by showing that panel either way.
It's already spoiled.
Yeah. Spoiled is spoiled. But no, so the story kind of kicks off. Everybody's kind of in a different place at the beginning of the story. The three main characters kind of focused on, I guess you could say, are Avar Chris, Stellan Gios, and Elzar Mann. Yeah, Elzar Mann's kind of still doing the whole find himself because he separated himself from the Force because he kind of touched the dark side there for a minute. And Orla Jarini has kind of been like his, she's a way seeker. That's not the right word I'm looking for. Master or guide?
Mentor, I think.
Yeah, mentor to him.
Yeah.
To him reconnecting. And Stellan Gios, because Avar Chris has gone to track down the Eye of the Nile, which she thinks is Lorna D. Stellan Gios has taken over kind of as the marshal or the leader of Starlight Beacon. So, and then the story kind of evolves from there into you get the Nihil start attacking like 4 planets kind of, and it do what?
Real quickly, we do know, because it's something Wayseeker's seeing, we do know like they're all going to die, right? Like the majority of them, almost everybody's going to die, and if they don't, they're going to turn to the dark side because there's no like. I don't get how people don't know what's going to kind of happen here. But yeah, so the Nihil start attacking a bunch of different planets at different times, and they still haven't found.
Yeah, it seems kind of random. They're still tracking Lorna D, and although Avar does end up kind of finding her through the course of this book, but you don't really get that in the book. But the 4 attacks seem relatively random. The planets they're attacking, which actually, interestingly enough, they also attack a Jedi temple. And I can't remember the planet it was on, but it actually connects to mainline Star Wars comics because it was listed in one of the comics as one of the places Luke was looking at, trying to find the different temples. and he finds only rubble there, which kind of explains why he finds only rubble. It's because the Nihil destroyed it. But so they're attacking these places, and at the same time, all the refugees are kind of converging to Starlight Beacon. So all these ships are coming in to Starlight Beacon, and lo and behold, the Marchion Row has a plan to basically slip Nihil saboteurs onto Starlight Beacon, which works. He slips 3 saboteurs. It was kind of weird. I don't know if anybody caught this point. At one point, he says he sent 7 Nihil there, but there's only 3 actual saboteurs. So I'll kind of get to that in like the who lives and who dies part. I don't know if the other 4 were where he was talking about the creatures that he sent, or just the people that he sent when he said 7.
They
or
also,
if that was just a typo.
There's something that's also interesting in there too. They used a lot of characters not just from Gray's other books, but they also used characters that were from like Scott's book, because they brought in like what's her name, the little girl and everything like that. Or was that from Gray book? No, last time we saw her,
that's from Gray book.
Yeah. Last time, but didn't we see her as the Tempest Runner? Wasn't she the one that helped out? Wasn't she?
That was the last time we saw her, but the first time we saw her was Into the Dark, which was Claudia Gray's book.
Yep. Yeah, but
so there's Nan. Yeah, I was gonna say the Nan is there. Chancey Yarrow is also there, and they at this point have kind of they're there as prisoners because the Jedi think they're still Nihil, although they've actually defected from the Nihil, and they keep saying they're not Nihil, but they just happen to be there. And it kind of turns into the Poseidon Adventure or Titanic in a way, and that the saboteurs find their success at sabotage. So it's actually kind of ingenious in that they sabotage systems starting to where they would escape. So they sabotage like the docking doors so the ships can't get out. They sabotage the escape pods so the escape pods can't leave. Then eventually they blow the core, which basically eventually makes Starlight Beacon kind of bust into 2 like the Titanic does.
I will say this: it makes the High Republic comic book. It makes it way more now. Like especially this last one that just came out. It makes what's going on in there. It makes it worth something. It actually is finally linking up with them. And no, the narrator is not as good. No, he's not good at. I was listening to that right you, Sam. He's not good there either. And what he did with like Lilacs, where he's doing, he read them just like he would McConaughey, and he did a bad job at that. And his they should never have him do female verses of youths.
I think you say that because you just don't like audiobooks that much.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of audiobooks.
I think you rather read at your own pace.
Absolutely. Yeah. But I did like how they were culminating. Like this event eventually has to end, right? And I kind of I don't want it rushed, but I want actually they're doing exactly what they're not doing in the Book of Fett. They're giving you plenty of detail. Everything kind of makes sense. The only criticism I'd have is, does everybody have to be related to somebody that we already know? Like we already got the Griefs and we got the what's their names? The 2, but then we get like Santa's mom, like the chick with
well, you gotta think you're Chancey Yarrow,
Chancey Yarrow,
Sylvester's mom, you mean?
Yeah, no.
I mean, no. So you're
the woman who's with.
Oh, you're thinking of Anastaros?
Anastaros. It's Anastaros.
Gia Staros. So Gia Staros is the. Yeah, she turns out to be the mole for Marchion Row.
Mm-hmm. That's who the mole was inside. Yeah.
So JJ, what's the because you said you were listing 3 main ones, and you said Avar, which Avar was in it, but I don't remember her being in it that much. But there was that young Jedi who's usually tag teamed with the Wookiee guy. He was in this quite a bit. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, Bell Zettifar.
Yes,
Bell Zettifar, and his Charhound is Ember.
As part of that group, he was part of the group that had Lodestorm in it and had our cook. It had Sylvester Stallone, the cook, in it. Eagle Porter Ingle. Yeah. So I mean, that was good, and they do kill off some of them, and I like kind of how it was going. And when they brought Chris back, you see the madness in her, and you see the inner thought with Man. And when he says the 3, it's because I think those 3 were always singled out as like one's good, one might be turning to the dark side, and then one's But now it looks
I
like
can't remember the term they used.
Yeah,
They were
Well, you said it
constellation
earlier, but-
was the term they used.
You said it earlier. Did this take place before or after the comic that we just went over?
It takes place. So it starts off kind of, I think, at about the same time the comic is occurring,
yeah.
and it ends after. So
Yeah.
because when Avar Kriss arrives at the Starlight Beacon, that's after the comic.
So the
Which I
nine,
my
found
interpretation.
interesting as we were going through the comics, and there was something in the comics about Avar not hearing her song anymore or something like that. But at the end of the book, she was hearing songs because she noticed, not to get too far ahead, spoiler, that a certain Jedi song was no longer present.
Yeah.
I think she was saying that she wasn't hearing the songs like she used. Like, I think she was saying because she was part of the dark side in the comic book. It seems like there's a lot of questioning going on by both the Nihil and by the Jedi of where
the
Chris
reason.
was.
The reason I place it as after the comic is solely because of the fact that Avar Kriss and everybody else finds out in the book that, because he publicly exposes them as this, is that Marchion Ro is the Eye of the Nile. And as she's pursuing Lorna D, she still assumes that Lorna D is the Eye of the Nile.
Right.
So that's why I placed it as taking place after, because I figured she would have figured out that Lorna D is not the Eye. But
I will say, quite like the disaster, there's like another, it's falling to the ground. There were some, as Wayseeker's saying, there were some bad parts in the book that kind of slagged. And I think it was that, especially seeing the comic book this week, they didn't want to give away some of the comic parts in it. So they had to leave it. You couldn't have it probably as smooth a transition, I would feel.
Well, don't forget the comic. So then I don't think it gels perfectly because the comic at some point got delayed, and actually the novels got delayed at some point, but this novel didn't necessarily get delayed. And so I think the delays kind of make it seem, as far as the timeline goes, really weird.
I think it's getting closer though. All right, so let's go through the Death Wish real quickly. So it obviously, we know for sure that Loden Greystorm is out because he died in the past now.
Yeah, he was dead at the beginning. I only put him on here because they mention him a lot as Bell's former master.
Yeah, there's a lot of
so he gets mentioned a lot. And he is also the first one killed by the Leveler prior to this novel. So,
and the Nib was,
and then you also had Nibasik. Yep, Buriyaga's. So she also gets killed by the Leveler. Basically, they get turned to like an ash and disintegrate.
And the Leveler was
so basically they're drained of their life force.
So the Leveler was on. They
on
snuck
the ship.
the Leveler on the ship. Yeah, and that was part of it.
What they did was
on Starlight.
Yeah, Starlight Beacon.
Yeah, on the station. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was actually kind of interesting. What they did was they snuck them in, the Leveler in on the ship, and they on the manifest they put Rathtar down as because it was a living creature, and there was no Rathtar there. Yeah. Obviously, when they went to check it later in the book, but there was Rathars there from another shipment that was Rathars, and Bell makes the mistake of assuming because the first one was false, the second one would be, and he was wrong.
Yeah, he was wrong. The one part that I thought was kind of a little corny was like you had the opportunity of Man, and I think Wayseeker's trying to get there because he is not one with the Force, and because he's not one with the Force, he can actually travel down and get to pretty much to see the Levelers or to deal with them, and then just at that moment somehow, like I think it would have played out better if he would have at least found one of the Levelers and okay, this is what our Blur is definitely alive.
Well,
yeah. So okay, go ahead with that, JJ.
It seems that way because at the end of the book, you have Bell, who is obviously Buryaga's friend, basically lay claim to the fact that he doesn't want what happened to his master Loden happen again, where he thought he was dead and he actually wasn't. So he basically pledges to find and save Buryaga because he thinks he's still alive. But at the time that we last saw Buryaga, him and Elzar Mann were fighting 2 Rathars, actually 3 Rathars. They killed one, and but Buryaga was basically being choked to death and had no lightsaber or anything at that point. But he is a Wookiee; they're pretty resilient. So he became one of my favorite characters in this book. There's so many good moments with him in the book. Like the one moment, it kind of reminded me of like Groot in Guardians of the Galaxy, where they're like, "Oh, we need a power source for this," and so Buryaga just like rips off a panel of the ship and it's like, "Here, use this power source.
Yeah, that was my major
It's-
problem with it, Way Seeker. Exactly what you said right there. Like he didn't have it and he was doing fine, and then all of a sudden he decided to connect with the Force after he figured out that not being connected to the Force was the thing that was still keeping him alive. Made absolutely no sense. So
in the audiobook, previously when I can't read it and I can't remember it, the Wookiee Jedi, his voice used to, his growl, he used to annoy the crap out of me. But after listening to this book and listening to that damn droid that belonged to Stellan or whoever it belonged to, I think they kept passing it back and forth to each other. That thing was the most annoying voice I've ever heard.
But that was what was great about it.
I was disappointed that Erla died, but I think if we go like pre-stories with her, just like we're going to do with Porter.
Her death to me was the Orla Jareni's death was the most shocking because I was like, oh, the oh crap, it's real moment is when she dies, because we obviously know Loden had already died, and I think she's the next character, at least from the leveler. No, I'm sorry, Reginald Cold, who I didn't mention, and that's not even his picture, by the way. I just kind of assumed he maybe looks like that. I don't know. He was like a wisecracking Jedi Knight. He gets killed by the leveler first in this book, and I don't think we met him in any books prior to this. He might have been mentioned. I think he get mentioned in one comic one time or something. Yeah. But so he gets killed first, and then basically the leveler being on the ship kind of drains everybody's use of the Force, so they all kind of feel like almost like they have the flu or something. They're run down, they can't think straight, et cetera, and then
when they get to put them into,
they all kind of get worried.
Yeah.
And Indira Stokes and Reginald Cole go to look for whatever's causing that that feeling or that tremor in the Force or whatever you want to call it. And they get attacked first. So Indira gets actually put in a coma and Reginald dies. And then, of course, Orla Jareni and Nibasik do the same thing later on, and they both get killed by the leveler. So.
I disagree that Stellan's story sucked. I actually thought Stellan's story up to this point was decent. He was pretty good. He seemed like the only Jedi who was a real Jedi. Like he seemed like almost to the point of a Obi-Wan knockoff. I mean, Chris's character.
They have a point in that they did nerf him a little bit, but I think that was kind of necessary for the story.
Yeah, it's part of the story.
Because apparently the reason he felt so affected by it was because he was one of the most powerful Jedi. So that was the reason why he was affected by it.
See, this is
from the beginning.
This is an interesting thing that Wayseeker's saying. Like, how does Bell figure out the problem when all these masters couldn't? But then Wayseeker just said the two worthless masters that were in the bake-off were good characters that we might see down the road. I mean, I think it's because they're saying you get these masters are just guys that have been around for a long time.
Well,
they aren't used to
I don't know. There was an odd moment in there where they solved the problem of communicating with the ships.
Yes,
Buryaga and Bell do, but they're only able to communicate with one ship, whereas it's actually the vessel crew that solves the whole communications problem when they sabotage the communications.
Still looked really
good. Bell figuring out the leveler thing was not such a leap for me because he's encountered it before.
Yeah,
with Great Storm.
Yep. Okay.
So
great.
I don't know. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with that. But.
And I thought the vessel crew, they did a good job with it. I thought they did a good job with what's their names, the two Nihil that weren't Nihil that kind of are back to being Nihil again now. Well, at least one of them.
Nan and Nan's kind of back to it. The other one, well, we'll get to in a minute, but the other one's not back to anything. We'll put it that way.
And I actually thought Man's arc was okay. Like I think Aurora was his grounding, and then now it's kind of tempting to see because the next step is who does turn dark. All right, so let's get to the
go
back one real quick. Before we do that, and I don't want to
go back to the generator.
So I'm just going to say, do we? And I believe he is, but do we know for sure that Stellan is dead? All indications are yes. He's like 99% dead. There's that sliver of.
I'm pretty sure because
really kill him.
Yeah.
Well, they have to start killing.
There's the one that says. Yeah. I think he's killed because they mentioned several people, including Avar, who is supposed to be able to sense all the Jedi kind of at one time, is no longer able to feel his presence in the Force.
And my thought is,
and it happens immediately.
I'm probably wrong. Is that I think he is dead, and I think his death is even going to push because he had relationship, we'll just say, it's with Avar, right? So I think his death is definitely going to push Avar
into the game
closer to the darkness, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. I think he grounded both.
Maybe.
Well,
I think one of those two that are left will definitely.
I think you see, like, with those two that were left, like Stellan and Orilla were kind of like the grounding forces, combined grounding forces for that. So I think, like, you'll see them. Whichever one's going to turn to the dark side is going to turn sooner than later. So, all right.
Yeah. And real quick, last one I didn't know about for sure, but I think he may be dead. Is Estella Maru, who's kind of like the watcher of the tower, or the watcher of Starlight Beacon, I guess, where he kind of controls everything. Avar Chris, I think at one point says that he went down with the ship because the top half breaks off, and that's where the command post is that he's at. And they mentioned, I can't remember if it was Elzar or Stellan mentioned that there was one person basically trying to keep the top half afloat with the Force,
which was him,
and then it burnt up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when Avar lands her ship on the shore, I think she says something about, like, I feel bad for the souls that have passed, including Maru or something like that. Mm-hmm. So I'm assuming he's dead. I don't really know for sure.
Yeah.
But that's why he's on the list.
I think he's got a more likelihood of being dead than Burrow does. So, all right. Yeah. So we've got 3 Nihil saboteurs that died.
Yeah. Whose names I don't remember because they're really not that important.
They didn't
care. They were actually on a suicide mission, so they were kind of going to die from the start.
They were the ones with the Irish accents, right?
Yes,
if I remember right.
Oh, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
The leveler /ers question mark. Why is this, JJ?
Yeah, but I don't really know. That is a picture of Uzan Vong, by the way, because I don't know what the leveler looks like. We don't have an image.
I was like, why?
But I put him on there because, like I said, Ro mentions he sent 7. So I don't know if that means there was more than one leveler there, or what he's referring to, because there's only 3 actual saboteurs that we know of.
So the leveler would be like the damper, right?
Yeah, more or less. But
so the leveler, just to go,
I don't know if they're living beings. So
is the levelers, to go back maybe 2 books, maybe more. That's the creatures that Ro freed from the ice when he was like visiting his aunt. He went there to find them or something. Am I right? Okay.
Yeah.
So you think?
And at one point he says in this book that basically,
he's been
he wishes they were still around, but he can get more or something like that. So
that's what we see. Yeah, he can get more. Him. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he can get more. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I assume that there were 4 of those or something on the ship, and they died.
And then what's the deal with Chancey?
I think they'll still be around.
What's the deal with Chancey Yarrow?
So Chancey Yarrow. So at one point, basically, her and Nan are aboard the ship, and they're freed by the saboteurs, even though they're prisoners. And at first, they're like, "Yeah, we'll work with you, Nihil," even though we're not really Nihil anymore. They get out, and basically, they figure out that they're on a suicide mission, and them breaking them out of prison is not going to do anything. So they break off from those 3, and they go to try to figure out a way to get off the ship. And Chancey Yarrow says, being kind of the brilliant scientist engineer character, like, well, I have a way to actually fix the thrusters on the ship to keep it afloat. So at one point she's down there, she's fixing the thrusters, and all the Jedi still think that her and Nan are actually the Nihil saboteurs because they broke out of prison. So Man, having had a lot of friends die at this point in the book, basically touches the dark side, goes full on Anakin Skywalker, and literally cuts her in 2 with his lightsaber right before she fixes the ship. So
great time.
Yeah, there's that. So Chancey Yarrow's definitely dead, not coming back.
And then what's the name of the girl? Nan?
Nan,
the little girl that,
so
yeah, she really lays the guilt trip on
yeah, she does. She really lays it on thick.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you have basically the survivors that we know are left now. Obviously there's more Jedi and Nihil survivors than these guys. But I put these ones because they're actually in the book. And I tried to only use characters that were in the book. Obviously Avar Chris and Elzar Man both make it out of Starlight Beacon in one piece. So does Bel Zedifer and his Charhound Ember. Now Indira Stokes is actually incapacitated. She was attacked by the leveler along with Reginald Colt. But So she does survive. She's in the medical tower being treated, but she's in a coma. Gira Staros, was I the only one who thought she was going to die by the end of this book?
Yeah, because they were.
Like, I totally thought Ro was going to kill her.
They were too. Yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
But yeah, but he doesn't. She's alive. And then Nan, who, as Jedi just said, was with Chancey Yarrow, does make it off the ship. She actually steals. What ship was the Ace of Staves? Was that the?
That was the Ace
ship?
of Staves was the guy that hated Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
It's the guy that tries to.
Okay. So that was okay. That annoying guy. Yeah.
Yeah. The guy was annoying.
And Coley or something, wasn't it? Coley, something. Yeah. So she steals his ship at the end and makes it off the thing. Yeah, Gio does kill him. That's right. With a bolt. Gio is the MVP of this book, by the way. He saves 8.
Did you like what they did with Gio? Did you like what he did with him though? Like, I thought they played it up a little bit too much. Like, it was funny in the last couple books. It's been funny, but they started doing the thing, and then now all of a sudden he can deflect stuff. He looked like he was going to die a couple times, but he's never going to die.
Well, I was okay with that. I was kind of like,
he's flirting with women.
Gio, when they made him kind of a ladies' man.
The flirting thing was funny.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of like, okay.
Yeah, I thought they were taking it overboard. I think they kind of took it a little bit too overboard. I hope they reel it back in just a tad. But okay, go ahead. So.
But yeah, so they all make it off. All the vessel crew and the vessel ship all survive in the end. Although Leox, I thought, was dead.
We thought Leox
They really kind of played it up like he was definitely dead.
Oh no, I never believed that they were gonna. Yeah, they overdid it so much. You had to know.
You didn't think they were gonna kill him?
No, absolutely not. No. I thought exactly what was gonna happen. Pretty much, kind of what happened. I actually out of this, and I know that Wayseeker's been a little bit hard on it, but out of these characters that are left, I thought they did okay with Vassal. Like I said, I think Gio, they have to slow it down a little bit. I think they kind of took it a little bit far over the edge. Marsha and Ro developed even further, which was good. Nan, I think they did a great job. With Bell, they did a good job. I actually like what they're doing with Man. And Chris is still 50-50. I think the Staros character sucks. And obviously Stoke is passed out, so I don't really.
Yeah, they made Chris interesting though now, right? Because we don't know. She's kind of like she might, she might not. At least she's kind of interesting now.
Yeah. I agree with that, but she's still 50-50. I don't know. Go ahead, JJ.
I don't know if they made her interesting in this book or if it's because we read the comic and read this book.
The comics too, yeah.
Because in this book, she kind of wasn't.
I'm leaning more towards
this book, she wasn't.
Yeah, I agree.
She wasn't that interesting in this book, I don't think, but she's just kind of there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because of all the problems on board, she doesn't solve any of them.
No, she doesn't.
She's really not in it a lot, really.
But she was
she's not in a whole lot of it.
The only thing that it was is that we saw her go to the dark side in the comic book after this. But during this book, there's a point where Gio says, "I'm in charge of the ship because you left," and there's a feeling of her. They mention it. She's got anger, that's the side of the dark side. So that was kind of a little interesting. I did think we got the point that Man is the relationship, it's the Anakin Padme relationship with Chris, he's pining over her and everything else. I don't think they need to. That Gray needed to.
I think they established that they actually had a relationship, right? When they were younger, like Padawans.
Yes.
But they broke it off more or less.
Yeah, but they did it too many times. We got it already. I don't. That's the unfortunate part because Gray is a great writer, and I've liked all her stuff. I do like this, but out of the books that she's done in the new one, I have to say this is probably the weakest of the three. And I'm wondering, is it the weakest of the three because they are trying to have the comics play into this, or is it the weakest of the three because something she does? And I have to say that it probably had to be because of the point.
Weakest of the three books that she's written?
Yeah.
You're talking about the books that she's written, or
the books she's written. The High Republic.
I didn't know.
Well,
has she written three?
Two plus the one before that was not High Republic. Yeah, you caught me on that. I just thought that it was I don't know, man. Her other book that she wrote was way better than this one, and I would think. But I thought there was a lot of
yeah.
I
don't know. I didn't. I know you don't like it when they play the whole relationship, will they, won't they thing, which I kind of agree with in a way. But it didn't bother me too much here. I think it's because we've gotten to know the characters better, and I enjoyed the trip through kind of Elzar Mann's head because he's the one big Jedi who, although we've seen in the novels, we haven't really explored that much. Mm-hmm. So I think that was her goal. This book was to really kind of flesh out his character a lot. Man. And I think it succeeded in that part.
I think she did that with the Vessel Crew too. The Vessel Crew story moved further. I think she did that with him and Bell.
Yeah.
So that's good. As far as this, Gray was like, I don't think that's what I'm saying. I think she's handcuffed with Chris, unfortunately, because Scott did the same thing. The Chris character under Scott was very handcuffed and crappy. So like, I don't think all these writers are messing up. I think they're getting handcuffed somehow. So, in my opinion.
I think they really are. Like, I think they're. Well, don't forget so they come together as a group to do this stuff too. So, somebody probably has plans for Avar's character.
Yeah.
And Claudia Gray or whoever's writing the book at that time, like you said, Scott or whoever, is probably like, I don't want to step on those plans. I don't want to pull a Ryan Johnson. I don't want to step on those plans and ruin everything. So, like,
Did Scott do Tempest Runner?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Yes.
That's Scott.
So what was what's Chancey's daughter's name? With the one that was with the Vernestra?
Silvestri.
Silvestri. So do you think we're going to see, she's going to learn about how her mother died, and we're going to see maybe not a main story, but maybe a sub story develop out of that? Revenge.
Well, my understanding of it is she's in Mission to Disaster, I think.
Yeah.
Somebody can correct me on that, which I haven't actually read or listened to yet, but I'm going to. So.
Is it out? Okay, I didn't know it was out.
Yes, this was the same problem. Wayseeker, it says they also need to stop having the scenes with Ezra in the sea. Yes, I get it. That was the same thing that Scott did with Chris and the speaking of the Force or the feeling of the Force, and they kind of brought that back. It's probably the worst trait out of all of it.
Well, I mean, isn't that kind of if you read a lot of Star Wars books, so that's kind of a Star Wars trope in a way, is to show how the character sees the Force. And I think they go to that well too much, but
they go way too much. Yeah. They did it with all the characters, and it's just way, and they just beat it to death. So, what do we got here? What's left in Phase 1?
So Mission to Disaster, which Jedi mentioned didn't know is out. It's weird. It's out in audiobook and I think like digital reading, but it's not out in paperback form. Why? I have no idea. But I think it comes out March 30th, an actual book.
Is that like a young adult? Is it what level is
that? Like middle grade. I think they call it like middle grade.
Lots of love story on that one.
Like, yeah, you're right. Probably.
A lot of teen romance.
Yeah. And then the one I'm interested in,
yes,
which comes out in a couple weeks, is Midnight Horizon, which is the Daniel Jose Older. So that's the young adult novel. But it's got Reith and Comac Vitus on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure some other people will show up. But,
I think that'll be good. Oh, that'll be good.
Then, yep. And then you got coming up, Star Wars High Republic number 14 is the next in the Marvel comic run. And then we'll see the IDW High Republic Adventures line, unfortunately, come to an end with number 13.
I don't know. After the last two books they had, I think it's okay.
Dark Horse might pick it back up, but.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like Mission to Disaster. All right. Was there a lot of relationship stuff though? To Avon. How much her mom was behind it. Okay. I am, you know what I like though? The comics through 15, we know this, are going to have the tie-in still through the beginning of this novel. So, which is going to be kind of cool and kind of get to see more of the Laura D. I think they're good. I mean, the next phase, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot more killing off. I don't think they've killed off enough people yet, unfortunately.
So the next, you're saying phase 2?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So phase 1 will end, but they're actually going back 150 years prior for phase 2.
Oh, that's right. Because they're doing the prequel crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Damn, that sucks.
But this kind of phase 1, I think, ends a lot like an Empire Strikes Back ending, where there's a lot of although not a whole lot of people died in that, but you had Han go off, be captured, and basically the bad guys take a big hit, and kind of everybody's like, well, what comes next type of thing. I think that's what the ending they were kind of going for with phase 1.
The guys take a big hit, and the bad guys kind of like,
I'm sorry, the good guys take a hit.
They're OP.
Yeah. Because at the end of this book, there was a whole celebration basically where, the Nihil were like, hey, we finally did it. Stuck it to those Jedi, and Marciano comes out with a big speech.
Yeah, there's no longer any any misunderstanding of who the eye is after Roe kind of broadcast on Starlight Beacon's frequencies who he is, and he's the guy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. I mean, it was all right book. Like I said, it wasn't a 10, but it was still up there in the 8s. They did a great job on it. It didn't hurt the storyline. I don't know what we're gonna do with this pullback though, and a lot of these characters, like that's kind of what I was saying to Wayseeker earlier. Think about how many of these characters died off already. Do you think really a Jedi Master in a cookbook that seemed rushed at the end is going to be that important? Because some of the seemingly important characters,
I was kind of surprised by the amount of characters they did kill off in this book. Like, I'm not saying like Claudia Gray's like the next George Martin or anything, killing off characters left and right, but there was a lot of like I didn't expect Ola Trinity to die, and I didn't expect it. Like when Reginald Cole first dies, I was like, okay, well, they always kill off the funny guy in the book, like first. I was like, and I kind of figured like one of the three, and I was kind of assuming Geos or somebody like that would die, so I was kind of right on that one. But like killing off like Ola Drini or coming close to carrying off like Indira Stokes. I felt so bad for Bell. Like your first Jedi Master dies, your second Jedi Master is put in a coma, your best friend kind of dies maybe. Like,
see, I was surprised that
that kid's taking a lot of hits.
I thought they would wait till the beginning of phase 3 to kill off Geos. I didn't think they were going to kill him off. Like I didn't think they were going to do that with him, but there's going to be like a little bit more tension between him and Chris, and then he goes off to do something else, and that's where he dies, and then that flips Chris completely to the dark side. So.
I almost thought it would have been Chris, like just reading the name of the book as Fallen Star. Like when I first saw the name of the book, I was like, no, I bet you Chris dies. But
yeah. All right. Well, all right. There you go. That's the review. I hope it helped you people. I don't think it was as bad as some people said it was. Mainly him. But yep, it's the past thing. So we'll get to that.
Pretty good.
That's all we got. Let's go home and get some sleep. We will be back next week. Hopefully the Book of Fett gives us a 10. Because I think we could all use a 10 out of it this week. I'm not quite sure if I don't know. All right, guys. Pete, can you take us? Oh, you can't take us out of here. All right, so I will try to figure out how to end this out of here. And we will.